This meeting is being recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to this class. Just confirm you can hear me. I'm just gonna confirm if you can hear me.
Can everyone hear me?
Oh, awesome. Okay, I can hear you, sir. Guys, welcome. Sorry, I had some technical issues.
Yeah, it's
But
somehow.
oh, awesome. Teresa can hear me and you can hear me. Let me just type on the group so that other guys can join us. So let's just give it 2 minutes and we can kick off. Okay, I think we can kick start while we wait for others to join us.
Let's get ready. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I have Teresa, Annie here. So are they here? Hi Teresa, hi Annie.
Guys, you can turn on your camera like myself and our speaker, so we'll make it more interactive. I have not cleaned this camera in a bit.
Can you turn on
Yeah.
your camera? Please let me know I'm talking to real pigs and not robots. Anybody there? Okay, I said that they refuse to put on their cameras.
I'm trying to get people that are more cooperative. Okay. Okay. It's gonna change. I think some people are absent today. Sunny, please. Rala is here, Annie is here, Ngozi is not here, Janet is not here.
The ones who are here can just show their here.
Sorry?
The ones who are here can show their here before we get started.
The ones that are here can what?
They can show their here before we get started. I think.
Teresa, can you show your face? Just say hi first. Yeah, I think we have Oyibo. He's joining. That's fine. I think we have a shy audience tonight.
I hope they can be able to ask the question. I wanted it to be conversational. Okay. We'll just get started with those who are here. I look at all of their face. Okay, so I'm gonna start with sharing my slide and roll from there. You need to permit me to share. I'm gonna go from there.
All right.
So can you permit me to share my screen? You need to permit me to share my screen.
Well, but I'm not getting the notification. Let me give you access. Add pin spotlight for everyone. Let me make you host. Probably. Make you the host. All right. So check if you can.
Yep. So
All right.
when everyone's in my screen. Yep. But everyone's in my screen.
Can.
Yeah. I did can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So the aim behind this class is we are almost at the end of the year or at the end of the year already, and next is by the corner. And if we can implement even just a quarter of what I would teach today, I believe you are going to actually see a progress in your financial journey. The aim of this class today is to make sure that by the time I'm done, you guys can understand how I was able to view my personal financial wealth. And for those who don't know me, yeah, I'm someone who believes in stealth wealth. Okay, who believes in stealth wealth. And what is stealth wealth? Stealth wealth is more like, when you talk about old money, you talk about building wealth silently, talking about buying freedom, talking about the real stuff and not hype. I don't know if you understand me. And for anything you don't understand, I would like you to definitely ask me a question. Through the years, I started just like anybody in this room, or even worse than anybody in this room. Okay. Um, I started from selling snails and orphan to where I am today. I've worked with virtually every top organization in the world. I've worked with Zoom, I've worked with Microsoft, I've worked with Five9, I've worked with Genesis. Just last week, I had a project in Zoom. I had a project with Five9, Genesis 9. These are big contact center industries in the United States. And Optivity now, my company, the company I work for, and I'm the ED, AI, and data strategy. How did I get there? I started from just my small room, an Infinix phone, a little dog, no mom, no dad, four siblings to take care of, real life shit, firstborn, for those who understand how firstborn shit work. So why did I get started? Because I knew I wanted to change my life and I wanted things to get better. And I knew what was to be broke and I wanted protection. I knew what was to be bullied. I wanted freedom, not just for myself, for my family. And I was able to successfully build a strategy that worked for me through the years. I've been able to get assets, financial assets, and blah, 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 and all of that. This is not what I'm trying to. I'm not coming to sell myself. I'm coming to see if I can build someone, else. So in this class, I'm looking at you guys and talking to myself 10 years ago. What could I have done better? And how could I have made it shorter? So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you things I've done in 10 years, a span of probably just 1 hour, 1.5 hour. Sadly, I won't be able to go deep because of time, but I'm going to run through everything. Any questions? Not yet. So let's jump in. So this is the wealth building class. I'm sorry, guys. It should have been last week, Saturday and Sunday. Unfortunately, I had to attend to other things, and my busy schedule made it impossible for me to jump on Saturday. So we are here today, and I believe if you guys are listening, you guys definitely pick one of the things. So wealth building masterclass today from Godwin. Godwin. God, I beg. God did. We structure, not vibes. Mindset,
Yeah.
skills, relationships, and money.
Sorry to cut. I don't know if it's my side, but I can't see the screen anymore.
You can't see the screen anymore.
Can anyone else see the screen?
Anybody else see the screen? Okay, so let me stop sharing and reshare.
You can see the screen.
You can see the screen.
I can see the screen.
Let me see if refresh. Let me try to refresh.
So
Oh,
let me stop sharing and share again.
Oh, I was saying it before you stopped.
Oh, okay. So can you see it now?
It's coming. No. Why didn't you let something?
Okay, Teresa can see the screen. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be explaining as we go further, and I want this to be interactive. Ask me any question you want to ask me, and we get started from there. So wealth is built and not wished for. I hope you know that. While growing up, I used to say hang up guys, and they would say, I'm gonna see that right. I will say, in the next 5 years I'll get that right. Or in the next 5 years I'll buy that car. Or when I have that money. It was all wishes. But truth is wealth is built. It's not an overnight journey. You need to be patient. You need to be strategic. You're gonna fail. You're gonna evolve because things change. You're gonna learn through the process. Every wealthy person today is a patient person, someone that has built through the years, stacked up. Wealth is intentional. It's not just prayers. It's intentional, meaning if you don't act and if you don't get the knowledge, it's not just about acting. If it's about acting, every bricklayer will well this today. But it's about acting, being consistent in the right direction, and that is knowledge. Sadly, they don't teach us this knowledge in school. That's how the system is built. For me, I got this knowledge along the journey and being very inquisitive. You need to be very inquisitive. You need to ask questions. You need to always want to know why. Okay, so it is not a wish to build it. It's built in layers. Mindset. Poverty is not just not having money. Anyone can be broke, but poverty is a mindset, right? If you have a poverty mindset, no matter what you do, you're still going to end up being poor. Your mindset comes first. How do you think? How do you relate? How do you build relationships? How do you spend money? How do you leverage your time? How do you say things? How do you read? What kind of content do you take in? What kind of content do you take out? What kind of your mindset matters. How positive are you? How do you visualize them? Then skills. The last masterclass we had, I talked about skills. Your skills are like tools in a toolbox. You want to go and cut a tree, or you want to go for a walk. You need to have tools, right? You need to have guns, bullets. If you want to go farming, you need to have a cutlass, you need to have a hoe. You need to have, your farm tools. So you need to stack up your skills. What was working 2010 is not working today. What was working 2007 is not working today. Most of us grew up with go to school, come out, get a job, and that was it. But trust me, if you do that right now, you're going to actually crash. So skills matter a lot. For those who don't know me, for others that knows me, I will tell you the truth and the raw truth. And everything I say today is based on how it has helped me. Everybody has their different philosophies of life, but this is my own philosophy. You need to exchange skill sets to give value in return for what money. Relationships matter a lot. Growing up, I used to have lots of friends, but today I only have a very, very small circle. It's a very tiny circle. And relationships can actually take you up or bring you down. Your relationship can actually motivate you to keep getting better. The relationships you have can actually give you ideas. You can come together to do something. You guys can collaborate. Your relationship, they can teach you things. They can push you. If Adele is doing so well in my circle and I'm just average, it will motivate me to want to do better. Adele calls me to know that I just bought a house in Cape Town while I'm probably chilling in Ikeja GRA in a rented apartment with 4 rooms. And Adele bought a house in Cape Town. What do you think will happen? I'm not trying. I need to do something, right? And then I'm gonna ask Adele, like, how did you do it? Knowledge. Without knowledge, you cannot plug in the hard work. A lot of people have the strength. A lot of people can hustle hard, but they're working hard on an empty air. They're not plugging into anything. It's like it's a fuse and a socket, right? You have a fuse. If you don't have a socket, right, then nothing can connect. Electricity won't flow. A lot of people have fuses, but they don't have the right socket to connect. And that's why you need knowledge. Relationships matter a lot. Show me a wealthy dude, and I will automatically know who his friends are. Show me an intelligent person, automatically know who their friends are. Money systems, they didn't teach us this in school. I personally learned this when I had already broken out and I got scared because I got to realize making money is not as tough as sustaining money. Sustaining money and protecting your money is tougher than making money. Because once you've made money, you become a target by the government. Taxes, you can lose it all in one night. So you start asking yourself, how do I protect my money? Because then you start thinking of how do I have a tax person, how do I have a lawyer, how do I have this? So be comfortable, you don't knock at your door, right? So you need to know how to structure your money system. A lot of people have made money and they lost it. We all know. So put this down. Sustaining money, taking it down generationally, like building generational wealth, is more tougher than making money. Because when you sustain it, then you have to evolve, you have to multiply. This is where money systems come in. Try to understand how money works. So I'm sure this question, most of us have always asked, oh God, when my own son, which you see your friends, celebrating. Christmas is coming, 30th December. We're going to say a lot of things on social media, we're asking ourselves, God, when? So in this class, I'm going to teach you guys how to move from God when to God did, but you have to implement all I've taught you today. Next thing, this is the masterclass roadmap, starting from where you are on LinkedIn, because I think that's what Otta did reach out to me for, because most of you guys are on LinkedIn. So I started from Facebook, actually, then LinkedIn. No, I started from MySpace. Remember MySpace? From MySpace to yeah. Okay, so so LinkedIn, and I'm starting from LinkedIn. Then we go to classes of wealth, done. Mindset of Nigeria's tech view of HNI, visualization, role models, noise and quiet growth, money rules and financial instruments, strategic relationships, principles, owners, bridges, wealth stacking, compounding, health, brand, breaking out the system, affirmations, and take home action. Good. So, why LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a marketplace of serious people, decision makers, recruiters, founders, investors, not just looking for a job, but for building, positioning. Treat LinkedIn as your online office. LinkedIn is a digital hotel lobby for high-level conversations. True, that if you know how to use it well. When I joined LinkedIn over 10 years ago, LinkedIn was all about HR, coming to talk about jobs. HR was like the biggest influencers then. Everybody looking for a job. I remember Jobberman. Who remembers Jobberman? I didn't remember Jobberman. Yeah, good. So, but when I came on LinkedIn, I didn't come looking for a job because I didn't see myself as someone who could compete with others to get a job. And I didn't really see myself wearing suits all the day and jumping yellow buses in Lagos State, waking up 4 o'clock, and I didn't see myself doing that. And so when I joined LinkedIn, I joined because I knew I could sell something, which were my snails. I'm sure you've heard these stories over and over again. And instead of my snails, I knew I needed to work on my product. They were cheap, they were big. I had a snail farm. I had over 1,000 snails in my farm. And I knew from selling my snails, I need to sell it to someone. So I don't coming on LinkedIn, I could find F&B managers for hotels who will sell my product. So, and I wasn't coming to look for a job. Now, I'm going to talk about LinkedIn today. LinkedIn is going to take much of my time. Okay. And good. How did I build on LinkedIn? For those who don't know, I or me 10 years ago, I was one of the biggest influencers on LinkedIn before I teleported from that into other things. So I'm going to be sharing okay. Let me just talk about everything on LinkedIn here, clarity on LinkedIn. In joining LinkedIn, if I show my LinkedIn profile, I'm going to show my LinkedIn profile, tell you the stuff I do. I said it was going to be practical. So you come on LinkedIn. Like I said, I didn't come to look for a job, but then I ended up getting 2 jobs without applying. I'm going to explain how it happened. But joining LinkedIn, there are 3 C's: clarity. Who do you want to become in 3 to 5 years? What is your retirement plan? I've always said that. I had a retirement plan when I joined LinkedIn. What problems do you want to be known for solving? When I joined LinkedIn, I wanted to be wealthy. I want to be financially free. Let me use that word. Success is a personal definition. For me, success isn't about having $1 billion. Success for me is about being rich enough to not work for anyone, to wake up anytime I want, maybe 10 p.m., 10 a.m., and do my work for 3 hours, get paid, and get out. Success to me was about I want to see the world. I want to see the Northern Lights in Norway. I wanted to travel to Sweden. I wanted to travel to Brazilian carnivals. I wanted to travel with my wife. I have just a single daughter or son or two max. Travel the world, see things. Help other people. Not think about eating chicken or what I'll eat the next day. Not think about rent. By God's grace, I have my own place here and in like two other African countries. Not, going from survival to actually not thinking about money at all because the money is working for you. That was it for me. Any other thing? Now that's heavy. But for me, this was what it was for me. It was okay for me. So I define success for myself. So first things first, you need to define what does success mean to you. Everyone in the house, what does success mean to you? Others' definition of success is different from yours. Mine is different from Elon Musk. It's different for everybody. For a lot of people, just having a roof over their head, they're successful. It all depends on where you're coming from, right? I just defined mine. So I already had it in my head that this is what I wanted in life. In the next 3 to 5 years, it's different from any other person. We all have different stories. That's the first thing. A lot of people make mistake by defining someone else's success for themselves. So you go online, you don't know the story, you don't have the same opportunities and resources like him or background, and you start defining your success based on that, and then you derail and fail. So you need to shut your eyes, go to the bush, travel, go to a resort, think, what does success mean to me? By the time I'm 80 and I look back, what will make me feel fulfilled in life? You understand? Good. That's the first step. So, what's the retirement plan on LinkedIn? LinkedIn's algorithm changes like, I don't use the word the prostitute, you know. LinkedIn's algorithm changes every second. Things change. LinkedIn, when I joined, wasn't LinkedIn today. When Microsoft bought LinkedIn, it became stricter for some people. A lot of things changed. The people you know today won't be there in the next 3 years. In the next 3 years, there'll be something else. So if you're on LinkedIn today, you need to start asking yourself, now that I am here, if I am popular, if I'm doing anything, what is my retirement plan in the next 3 to 5 years? You're not going to be on LinkedIn forever. And that's the simple truth. I used to post over 14 times a week when I first started on LinkedIn. Today, I've not posted in the last 2 weeks. And I don't care. I could have done this last time because I was so scared that my own don't be. But now I'm just keeping my account running. I'm not even the one that posts on my platform. I have a VA that does that. And the VA is not around. So my profile is Thomas for 2 weeks, But that's because I didn't have the time. I have things doing in real life or offline. So I don't need a third party platform to define my life. So now that you are still here and you are substituting your time, you are exchanging your time on the platform for money, what is your retirement plan? You won't be here forever. You will get old, you will have family, you will have kids. So now that you are there, what is the retirement plan? What problems do you want to be known for solving? If people say, oh, Adele Therese, who is Therese? What does she solve? What does she do? When I joined LinkedIn, I was telling people knew me for that. But from there, gradually, I went into brand building, business building, and that was what people knew me for. I started building business, building brands for people, and that's what got me to where I am today. Okay, I work with Zoom today. I'm helping Zoom. I'm helping to connect Zoom. Zoom that actually tech vendors, connecting them with actually the right clients. NCD, which is a company, and I'm doing that for my company activity now. You know, I've, I worked with Citibank last year by doing the same thing. So right now, I've been able to build myself into the tech industry and now connecting tech vendors with the right clients, understanding things like WFM, understanding things like, IVAs and like tech. They're not concern you actually, but I started from somewhere and this is where I am today. And this is what I'm known for. Good. So when you go to your profile, you say, I help, for example, tech vendors, or I help contact centers, or I help, you know, I help companies in the health sector, so probably, so to become better in the contact center or give them the contact center experiences using this or using that or using AI or using whatever. It all depends on what skill set you have. I help working professionals make smarter money decisions using simple financial education. Simple and short. Stephanie, simple and short. People don't have the time to be calculating in their head. You need to be simple. Attention span short. Good. I'm trying to fly. So. Next slide. Good. Content. Post 2-3 times a week. You can post about the lessons from work. You can post about a book, breakdown of a book, podcast, news, before after stories. I used to be broken, blah blah blah, and I am this. You are not trying to go viral. Remember, virality has killed a lot of dreams on LinkedIn. I am telling you. If you're on LinkedIn to go viral, unless you know what you're there to do, but if you're on LinkedIn to change your life, all the CEOs and CTOs and top C-level executives that I freaking fucking know in real life don't have more than 5 likes on LinkedIn whenever they post. And that's the simple truth. On LinkedIn, we have content creators and we have professionals. Let me make it see how we see it. When I suppose 17 days a week, I didn't know I was not a content creator. Now, I don't post 17 days a week because I'm not a content creator. I am a professional in the content center space. You cannot have a job, have projects doing a post 17 times a week. It's not possible. I don't know if you understand me. So if you're posting 17 times a week, what is your retirement plan? You're not going to be doing that forever. What is the game plan? Now, use the 3 E's. When I started on LinkedIn, I was using emotional, educational, empowerment in a ratio of 100. So, for example, I was more entertaining for people that knew me back then, 60%. Educational was 20%, and empowerment was 20%. I was known for being the voice for kindness. I knew why I did that. I used that hashtag, I'm using it today because I want to connect more with the white crowd, my foreign crowd, right? And I was going more with entertainment of more entertainment of 60% because I knew it was going viral. But when you go deeper, you get the message, which was 20% educational and 20% empowerment. If I had gone back then, if I had gone 70% educational, what will happen is the platform needs people to come on the platform. The platform needs people to be entertained. Like I wouldn't have gone viral, and more people wouldn't have seen me. People who took a chance on me wouldn't have seen me. But then I was having over 10 million views, over 8 million views per post. But then you see, if you look well, you will see the educational content and the empowerment in it. I stopped posting that way because I guess I've gotten what I wanted already. Do you understand, guys? Now, make sure you connect on an emotional level with your audience. Look, guys, if you are a content writer, there are over 1,000 content writers. You're not the best. I'm not the best. Me, I know I'm not the best. If you're a data strategist, you are not the only one. So, how do you connect with your audience? You need to connect emotionally with them. You need to think about something that inspires them. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So when you guys connect back then, it's like me reaching out to Adele first thing and I start talking about physics and math. You probably shoot me. But if I reach out to Adele at the first time, I was talking about other things that make us connect. Family, mental health, leadership, other things in life that actually still connect back to things he faces while doing his job. We'll connect faster. Then the next thing is, oh, what do you even do? Oh, this is what I do. If I go to a gym or I go to somewhere and I see a lady, if I have a milk, or let me say, I sell baby milk, and I go to a place where I see mothers, I won't go there and start telling the mother something about physics and maths. I'll first talk about how beautiful her daughter is. If her daughter is there, right? How beautiful her daughter is. Oh, do you know your daughter is so beautiful? I have a daughter like that. Oh, serious? We attend social school. But I found out that, my own daughter, she whenever she wakes up around 5 o'clock, she's always sneezing. Oh, does that happen? They're like, oh yes, my daughter too. Yes. How are you doing it? Oh, I was doing this and I was doing that. I was doing that. Oh, wow, nice. By the way, my name is so person. Oh yeah. I sell baby milk. Oh, you sell baby milk? Do you get where I'm coming from? People always forget that LinkedIn is a social media platform and there is human beings that are there. People always forget. If you're not a relationship builder, it's tough for you on LinkedIn. Now, the next thing is, what is your brand personality? Okay. Then comment more often than posting. People forget that on LinkedIn, the only feature is not posting. The other features on LinkedIn are not posted. There's posting, there's comment section, there's a share, there are other things, and then there's the almighty Sales Now, which I use. I wasn't using it initially, guys, but then obviously when you evolve and you can pay for it, then you start using it. It's a different world out there. You know, the main LinkedIn platform is like the waiting room. Sales Nav is like the sitting room. I'm going to show you my Sales Nav today. Good. So further. Okay. I hope you guys are pulling shower. Good. Types of brand personality. When I started on LinkedIn, I knew this. When people think about you, Therese, what enters their head? Who is your target audience? For example, if you sell luxurious items, how you should connect with your personality. For those who are doing brand, who are into branding, you should connect with your personality. Meaning, for someone who will buy your perfume, has to be sophisticated, right? So you need to actually have a brand that's sophisticated. Okay, if you are into kids or you're selling things that are into health, they talk about sincerity. Okay, we talk about sincerity. You have to be honest, down to earth, cheerful, genuine, focus on family issues and authenticity. If you're into entertainment, then you have to go into be an exciting brand, spirited, energetic. We have competence, we have ruggedness, and all of that. Because truth is, your target audience at this people. For someone who has a child, and I want to treat my child, I want to look for someone that's always excited and all of that. So you can give injection, put the injection in my child's eye. I won't be looking for sophisticated. I'm looking for someone that is more of sincere, family value, authentic, and all of that. So the sad thing is a lot of people are trying to sell products, but their brand personality is killing them. I also reached out to me yesterday. He wants to sell tech products. I'm looking for an influencer. And the influencer he showed me was someone that does lifestyle entertainment and probably, clothes and the whole thing. I'm like, why don't you look for someone who is, that has the brand personality that connects with tech, which is we're talking about. So a little bit of sophistication, a little bit of sincerity, all of that. So all these things are what the algorithm looks at before throwing your post to who they want to show it. Your personality matters. Intentional DM. This is also where those have come in. Learn to send DMs. So guys, learn to send DMs. People won't just reach out to you. I was sending over 40 DMs, 50 DMs. At the end of the day, all I needed was one person. You only need one person to change your life. That was my story. There was only one person that employed me, gave me a platform, and talked about me. And that was how I was going, till I disappeared. So you only need one person. So don't be scared of sending DMs. You're not on LinkedIn to you're not on LinkedIn to be super cool and all of that, You're on LinkedIn for something, for a mission. You're on LinkedIn to sell yourself. So don't be afraid to send them. If they don't reply, then they're not the right ones for you. That's what it is. Sell your product. Carry it on your health and sell. People that sell products on the street, they do not just wait in their house and expect people to know they're selling products. They went out. Go to the market or go to a laboratory in their shop selling. Sell your market. Good. So let me show my LinkedIn. Guys, I'm sorry I'm rushing because of the time. Natalie has given me time for this stage over. So I want to open my LinkedIn and show you my LinkedIn platform. Okay.
Guys, at any point in time you are not following with something, you can let us know in the comments. Let us know in the
Are
the
you
comments.
guys seeing my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Are you seeing my LinkedIn screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm just seeing the slide.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you my LinkedIn.
Yeah. So any questions so far, leave it in the comments. We can always address as we go.
Oh, okay. This is my LinkedIn. Our King Quay. I'm proud of my platform. I'm proud of myself.
Mr. Awa, are you hiring?
No, I'm not.
Mm.
No. Okay, now you see my LinkedIn platform. Good. So this is my LinkedIn. I'm not posted in the last. Only God knows. View profile. Yep. So whenever I come on LinkedIn, guys. Okay, this is I. So I got to these followers probably like 2 years ago. I can't remember, and I stopped because I couldn't. Oh, someone is raising their hand. Okay. Do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah,
I think
can you hear me?
Shoot.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Oyibo, you can unmute and ask.
Okay. So let me jump and be going.
Wait,
So
can
this
you hear me?
okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Sorry, I actually got muted again. Sorry, I say thank you so much for the awesome delivery and presentation. It's actually very, very inspiring, and I learned a lot. Thank you. My question is just, I don't know, let me just ask it direct. Maybe I might ask the complimentary question later on also. You talked about direct messaging of people, and you're on LinkedIn for stuff. Now, my own case is this. I've actually been on LinkedIn for a while, but I get people connect with me. I've gotten some gig from LinkedIn that I didn't even press for, but my need.
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oyibo, I think we lost you for a bit.
Yeah. In case you're still talking, I can't hear you. You might have to.
The kind of
Make
people
your,
that want to. Are you still hearing me?
yeah, you're
Yeah, we
back.
can hear you.
We lost you for a while.
Oh, so sorry about that. I
Yeah.
said the challenge I have majorly is with my niche. You understand? I'm a forex trader and also a crypto enthusiast. So majority of the time, it's people that come to us and say, "Okay, this is what we want you to do for us," and this one. So it's not like a narrowed down niche where you say, "Okay, this is the product I'm delivering." If I'm a UI UX person now, it's easy to just say, "Okay, this is what I do," and all of that. But so for my case now, I don't know how do I get to people DM, and how do I portray myself to get more visibility, and how to promote myself? So that's my question.
Okay, let me. Actually, you need to advise me. Should we finish up? Can you jot down the question so I'll come back to it so we don't derail others?
Yeah. Let me get the questions and then
Okay.
we can.
Oyibo. So let me finish up. I'll definitely come back to your question. Okay. So that at least we finish up. Then this will be a chit chat, right? Then we go back and forth. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna definitely answer you. So this is my LinkedIn. And when I come on LinkedIn, guys, so this is where I work and all of that. And so this is my profile. Okay. So in your profile, actually, for those who have optimized their profile, you fly, University of Lagos, you come down to your services, your feature session. Go down for my platform. So this was years ago. Let me see. Guys, my LinkedIn, I've not come here in a long while, so I'm just trying to show you some things. So this was years ago when I used to post like fire. And I want to let you know. Let me brag for myself small. This was 3 years ago. So this was, why can't I see my view? So this was years ago when I used to post like every freaking day, every freaking day. I wasn't always getting tired. I used to have lots over a million views. And you can see my post was short script. It was more about empowerment. That was it for me. Even the new educational stuff. Okay. If I want to come back, I need to promote this and I'll come back again on everybody's platform. But then I can't. I'm like, they said there's a time you focus on other things. Going back, I'm trying to look at my other post. This was 3 years ago. Before I switched up. I think future posts, you see more posts. These are different events and all of that and all stuff. So I was always posting all the time. You can see it was always viral, 21,000 viral. I was hitting it at 7. It was consistent. So I think I was everywhere and continued like that till where I am today. And for those, your future session should talk about what you do, shaping the future of work with. This was Art of Technology Lagos last year by Lagos State Government. I got recognized by the governor Samuel twice. Actually, I got a special letter from the governor of Lagos State. For those who still don't want to listen, for bragging twice, special, blah, 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 long thing, long thing, boring. So, Optivity now, working there for 4 years, directly as a strategy, founder, chief branding officer, brand strategist. All these are US firms, US firms, US firms, University of Lagos. So I've been into tech for over 7 years before I've gotten to where I am today. And I started from snail farming, guys. I started from snail farming this platform. You're right. Good. So this is Sales Now. Good. So when I come on the platform, this is Sales Now. This is where I go to. I spend all my time on Sales Now. Paid for, and you can see my crowd. I've been able to 100% connect with the white crowd, which is what I've always wanted. Okay. And when I go on my Sales Now, this is nice. Like I told you, this is Sharpen working together. Nice, one of the biggest platforms in the United. One of the biggest, I'll say number 2 biggest company in the United States when it comes to contact centers. We're working together. This is Sharpen working together. I'm not yet to actually, okay, I'm not yet to impress or that. I'm trying to make you guys know it's possible. So this is my Sales Now. You can see the kind of people on my status. So when I go on the platform, home, I look for a company I want to connect with. Guys, I'm trying to teach you how LinkedIn works. So I go to Sharpen, I go to Nine, so I'll connect with these guys. We all work together. Brandon Tate, Jared, Nelson, we all work together. Sharpen. I'm trying to help them connect with a particular client now. So let me go to Nine, which is the biggest contact center platform, Jewish platform. So when I go to Nine, look at all employees, 13,000 decision makers, 7 CXO, that 13K plus employees. So this company can pay me. They can pay me what I want to be paid, right? And then I go to decision makers, right? And when I go to decision makers, and I go to VP of sales, for example, senior vice president of sales, executive. And maybe I want to connect with the CEO and bypass. For those who were in the previous class, bypass the gatekeeper. So I look for probably the CEO. Let me say CEO. So let me say CTO. So I click on CTO. And when I click on CTO, it comes out with field CTO and on this, that, and I click on Learn, right? Or guys, I go to connect or view profile. Now, when you connect through Sales Now, what does it show? Sales Now shows they are actually on LinkedIn Premium, and they'll definitely connect with you because they see you as, if you can pay for Sales Now, then you're someone they can do business with. Yes or no? It's a psychological thing. So I connect and I write blah 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 blah, and I send an invitation. It bypasses the direct messages anybody does on a normal day. You understand how I connect with top CEOs right now? Good. So this is my messaging for those who have sent. So this is short-term branding. This one I connected with the same. So this is our from activity now. We're working together on the NCT demo. I'd like to stay connected there to something you're open to. So working together on NCT demo, like I told you guys. This is Amber Gold, one of the top. This is nice, one of the top. Amber Gold. I think Amber Gold is soon. But what we're waiting today, working for NCT. I would like so actually when I told you I have so much projects at this period that I don't have the time. Now you understand. These are things I do. So with LinkedIn, I've been able to actually connect with the world. And I can beat my chest to tell you I've worked with everybody. When I mean everybody. So I'm just giving you insight. So this is Joe Sexton and like that Jeffrey, Susan. This is Susan. Susan is my client right now. Trying to, I would like to stay connected, yes, and all of that, blah blah blah. So I got knocked out. My God. So you can say, and when I want to connect with the Nigerian crowd, I make sure I selectively connect with the Nigerian crowd. This is my friend Justina. She was the former commissioner for, I don't know what she is now right now. So this is Justina Afiego of Parts, for those who don't know. So this is sales platform. This is Sales Nav. But Sales Nav is paid for sadly, and it's freaking expensive. So, but then what I'm trying to say is you can actually build and do what you're doing, try to migrate into Sales Nav. You understand? Sales Nav, these are all my leads, recommended leads. You can see these are all my leads. 100 days. I don't want to go to my company system, but when you go to leads, recommended leads, those now being recommended leads based on what I do. You can see president, owner, director, co-founder, director, sales, vice president, CEO, founder, VP, co-founder, founder. So I'm sure you guys have not actually seen this on LinkedIn. So since LinkedIn is two worlds, why we have the content creators creating content and keeping the platform running, then we have other people back and making the money. Good. So let me leave my thoughts now and back to the original platform where everybody hangs out. Good. But then I want to show you guys something about sales now. I said I was going to show you something when I said posting. Don't come to LinkedIn just to. So let me go to. Now on sales now we have the home where people post, CTOs post, CEOs post, and I'm going to show you something that I was telling you about. So let me look. This is our founder. This is Matt. So this is Matty. Matty posted. No, don't show me this. I want to show you guys something. So this is Matty, and these are like top people you admire. He posted 2 days ago. You can see how many like 18 like 18 like. Good. This is Rebecca. This is Mitchell. Whenever you click on any of them, you realize okay, this is where you check most of them. They all post. What do you see? 5 likes, 3 likes. Okay, good. So if you keep scrolling down, guys, home. So this is where I spend most of my time. That's why I disappeared from the home. This is where I engage mostly. Now, sales now also tells me CXO, sharpen, view decision makers, employees. They just lost an employee. Okay, 1% in 6 months. 13K, they just added 5% employees. New decision makers at 26. They tell me. Babalo employees, LHH, like that. They tell me everything freaking going on. And I engage more. This is why I stay when I come on LinkedIn. These are CTOs and the rest posting. Guys, can you see that? So you keep on scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So this is another feed, apart from the normal feed. Now this is the normal feed beyond which are content creators. Now do you understand, guys? Do you have any questions? Five like. Any questions for me? Okay. No questions. Good. So now you've been able to understand when I say LinkedIn as the platform. You have the creators, the content creators, people keeping the platform alive. Because if the platform, if you have the creators keeping the platform alive, the platform will not run. Then we now have the people who the platform works with, you know, people who are able to get those premium. And then we have the conversation and all of that. Right? So a lot of people might not know this. So this is the normal platform that we all know. None of that. Do you understand? Now you see. Now if you go through my feed, what guys, what do you say? Richard, you see that my feed also dominated by white. Like, you understand? Because I wanted this audience, so I have actually built my profile over the years to make sure that my profile is, filled with, this kind of people. Because these are my target audience. I'm always wanting to stay in Nigeria or Africa, wherever I am, and still work international. And I've been able to break that. So guys, do you understand? Good. Whoop! So whenever I send messages, I send it through those now. And if I can show you when I started sending my snails. I don't know if you guys want to see that, but that's actually funny. But yeah, let me see if I can write snail farming. Let me see. Hello, our customers. You can see my feed. So okay, good. I have people who reach out for jobs and blah 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 to work together. This is my feed. So my LinkedIn right now is everything for me. LinkedIn gave me the opportunity. I want to write snails. Let me see if something will come out with snails. So to take me to years back. Snails. Uh, good. So guys, I want to show you my feed years back. So this was me years back. Hello, sir. I'm a big fan of your work. Impress your career. This is it. So if you need help with supply of giant African snails, so guys, I'm actually open here, so you guys know I'm not shitting you when I tell you. You don't need to forward to be supply of cheap, affordable snails. This is it. Our farm 381. Okay, this is my WhatsApp line, guys. So this is it. This was the head of. This was hotel move for now. This was at can't remember it was. I think Magodo. Yes. So this is my WhatsApp line. You can send the quotations to me on snail farming. So guys, you can see what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. So this was me too. I was also saying I went to store also. I'm a farmer. I need to supply of food, part of freshly cut meat. So guys, you can see my screen. I wasn't shooting when I tell you service. No, for 2018. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. I was just shooting for sending my snail. Hi, how are you? I'm doing this. Like this. My need to help supply of giant African snails. This. Thanks, welcome. Thanks. This. Not everybody was giving me the room, but then this was Senator Baba Femi. I sold snail. I reached out to him for I love this class. I remember things that I'll never go for it. I've been part of your work in press days. But you know what the funniest is? The senator now is the one that actually ended up congratulating me for job and all of that. This is Alex Omova, one of the biggest boys in Nigeria. Hey, I think Alex Omova, let me go. It was too snail. So guys, you can see my feet, right? And all of that. So you can see when I said I wasn't kidding you with selling of snails and where I am today. Okay, and all of that. And that's why I said, shoot your shot. Shooting my shot got me to survive when I was selling snails. So that is with LinkedIn. But then before I go further, okay, yeah, you have a question. Someone has a question. You can ask your question. I didn't jot it down. I'm just flying, please. Okay. So while you're asking your question, let me just talking. Good. Now the idea of sending of LinkedIn again, I want to get to jot this down. We have what we call templates. And in templates, I want to give you guys I think 3 templates. And that is number 1. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can share. Are you guys following? Are you guys understanding? Are you guys feeling? So these are templates I believe in. I was, I work with templates, world building masterclass today. So first is strategy. While on LinkedIn, you need to have a strategy. Mindset, system, strategy. Strategy helps you build predictable, scalable growth. Framework helps you evaluate blah, blah, blah. SWOT analysis. So SWOT analysis, everybody knows SWOT. I'm sure you must know heard of SWOT analysis before. How do you implement that on LinkedIn? When you join LinkedIn, you need to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities and threats. When I joined LinkedIn, one of my strengths wasn't actually working in office. I didn't have an experience working in office. I never had anyone give me the opportunity to work in an office. I knew how to sell snails. I knew business. I knew go to the market, the cheapest market to buy goat, cow, meat parts, and take it to Ikoyi, to the island. I knew how to help people connect with farm, all of that. So I knew my strength was also writing. I knew I could write content. I was always a writer. So I wrote my strength down. So guys, what are your strengths at the moment? What are your strengths at the moment? Let me know your strengths platform. Now, what were my weaknesses? I knew one of my weaknesses was I wasn't good with. I knew one of my strengths was consistency. I was broke. I wasn't just busy, so I knew I had all the time. I was gonna post 50 times a day if I had to. It's one of my strengths, you know. My weaknesses were, well, number one, I didn't have money for much data. Number two, I wasn't really good with graphics initially, so I wasn't good with graphics. That is why I didn't following me. That's why I was doing videos. I knew if I do graphics, some other guy would just knock me out. So I knew graphics was my shit. So I had to do videos. On LinkedIn, I knew how to connect with my target audience. I knew how to connect with them. I knew how to make sure that everything I post, I knew that my personality had to be sincerity, cool guy, humble, which I'm still doing today. I will never come online to share anything of winning. Sorry, I need to fix. So, my weaknesses, I wasn't really good in graphics. I was good with writing. I was good with videos, research, stuff like that. So I wrote down my strengths, wrote down my weaknesses. Now, what were the opportunities? Market movement. My opportunities were I knew if I could actually connect with my audience, I'll be able to sell not just nails, but go fully into livestock because that's what I was doing at the moment. So what are the opportunities for me being on LinkedIn? Guys, if you're trying to pick a call, give me like seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. So, my opportunities, I have to put my opportunities down. Guys, there's something powerful about writing things down. Have a diary, or I call it a journal. I have mine where I write down everything. So my strengths, check. My weaknesses, check. What are the opportunities that align with my strengths, check, based on the platform, and what are the threats? I knew right from time where nothing was going that in a few years, um, I knew that one of the threats was the algorithm changing all the time. I knew the threats were um, everybody was talking about the same thing most of the time. And I knew that if I didn't find a way to position myself and to stand out, then I won't be able to get an opportunity. I knew I had just a max of 5 years. That's what I gave myself and I'm done. So, threat. The other threat actually, you need to write that to yourself. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threat. Another template that I always use is um, butterfly forces. You're a content writer, you're a forex guy, you're whatever you're doing, whatever skill you're doing. Competitive rivalry. Who are your competitors at the moment? Who is doing what you're doing at the moment? How are they doing? What's the personality? You have to study your competitors. One. Supply power. Good. Supply power has to go with, well, if you look at the big scope of business, how easy is it for you to get the materials using? Um, I had issues with data. Then I had to figure out if the data crashes. If you leave the platform for a week, it becomes a problem. Especially now that you're trying to exchange your time on the platform for money. So you need to get that checked. What are the materials you need? Supply power. Buyer power. Your audience. So how well do you know your audience? What is the purchasing power? So for example, you are a content writer and you say your target audience is in Nigeria, maybe women that are maybe your women that or single mothers that have two kids, they're writing for them and probably maybe that's a target audience. You need to ask yourself, do they have the purchasing power? I think a lot of people I said with your names, one of the things that killed them was they were not able to tell the truth, which is they focus more on master classes, and to build through master classes, to build through promoting brands and all of that. But the thing is, the audience were in the country, Nigeria, and the amount of money the audience were paying them wasn't the kind of money they could use to build wealth or to stabilize. So you need to ask yourself, what you are doing today, who are your target audience? Do they have that purchase? Do they have that purchasing power? And that is why I started working on my platform. I had lots of engagement, lots and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of attention. But the question is, were the people listening to them the kind of people that could give me jobs? Were the people that had the purchasing power? Were the people that had the kind of money they could pay me to actually build wealth? I don't think so. So I had to become more serious and I had to start working on my platform so that I could connect to the right crowd. I love my people, but my skill set to give me more money. I connected to big companies across borders. So I had to actually start designing my personality. I had to start that affected the way I post, my post timing. You can't post just anytime. Time difference matters. For example, I wake up in the morning, I work, and by 2 p.m., 3 p.m., that's when most of the people I work with wake up because of the United States, and we work all through to 10 p.m. Then from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m., I'm doing meetings. That's sacrifice. But then that's when people who are my target audience are awake. If you work with the Philippines or work with people in Guatemala or Mexico, and you realize that you have to be positioning yourself to the time your target audience is around. Your target audience is awake. That's what it is. So if you make your post around 7 a.m. and your target audience is waking up 2 or 3 a.m., what happens is the first 1 hour, if your post is dead or your post flies, your post is dead, it doesn't fly, it doesn't go to the next place. So people that wake up 3 a.m. when your target audience will see the post. Then if your post flies and the people who see your post are not the target audience, LinkedIn will carry your post that you fly to another region, another side. So for example, if your target audience is in maybe say Malawi and people in Malawi are maybe 9 o'clock and you post 7 o'clock, and your the people who love your post are people from Malawi. LinkedIn will say, oh, I think people who connect with this guy or this girl are people from this region. So at the end of the day, you find it difficult to connect with the other region that wakes up 3 a.m. I don't know if you understand, guys. So you have to actually make sure that you're posting around the time you forget audience. 1 hour before the wake or probably when they wake or something. So you'll be in their feed or on their feed. I've shown you now the LinkedIn feed is wide, very wide. So you need to be able to position yourself where your target audience can see your post. You understand? Now, threat of new entrants. I need to know you guys are hearing me. I know network happens. Can you guys hear me? Am I boring?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I hear you, sir.
Oh, okay. Threat of new entrants. Okay, you're a content writer. How easy it is for people to become content writers? Let me go to business, street business. You guys know about gender supermarket that is popping up everywhere, right? Why is that gender does not have much competition like that? Because you can't go and build gender now. I gotta start. Go and build it. It's not anybody that build gender, right? It's something with skill set. If you have a generic skill set, there's what they call threat of new entrants. It's the same thing. It's not like POS business. You're gonna start a POS business in the area. Before 2 weeks, you see POS, 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 POS everywhere, right? I'm going down the streets, right? Because the threat of new entrants, the boundary to penetration is very, 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 very low. Dangote is still Dangote today because you can't just wake up and build a refinery. So competition is low. Same thing with refinery, same thing with, So your skill set, especially now that AI is evolving, has to be something that is not just generic, but something that is very, very difficult for new entrants. And that was why I went from snail farming. And when most people started trying to replicate it on LinkedIn, I went to content writing, I went to brand building, brand strategy, and I went into AI and data strategy. And not just that, I was able to penetrate deeply in to where I am today. So I have no threat of new entrants. That is why it's like I'm jumping from Nice, Life Nice, Microsoft to this. Because the truth is, by the time they come back to Africa and they say, who can we work with? We are not that much. Do you understand? But from a content creator, I won't be where. Yeah, content creators are everywhere. There are plenty. There are plenty. You understand? And it increases your value. So, threat of substitutes. Substitutes are on LinkedIn. Again, if I cannot get a content writer, then maybe I can get a graphic designer that can do it. Substitute is if I cannot eat rice, I can eat beans. If I cannot eat meat, I can eat fish. Right? Good. That is threat of substitute. So
I think Teresa is saying she's not. Can we let her in? I don't.
Okay. Good. So threat of substitutes. If you cannot have rice, to eat meat. They cannot eat beans, to eat yam. So guys, you need to. I'm not talking about products now because I knew from the last time I realized most of us don't have products here. But then you are your first product and you need to position yourself very well. These are templates you need to use to position yourself very well, unless you just be among the rest. Most of the guys most of my guys are probably dead today because they refuse to evolve. They didn't understand this template. You understand? And that's how I evolved. And I'm still evolving, guys. And I built that habit of continuous learning. I learn every freaking day. I read every freaking day. When I first joined my company, I wasn't among people that were client facing. I was back end. But today I'm client facing. I sit with the CEOs of CEOs of Zoom. I make decisions. I'm a decision maker right now. Who ends up in the vendor? They reach out to me, because they need this client, right? Because I've been involved in. I read every day, guys. You just have to read. There's nothing else. You just have to read. You just have to survive. You just have to have a better life. Life is to be lived. We'll all die someday, but while you are still here, do it for yourself. That time you use them, scrolling through Instagram and see, have fun, but you come first. Your life comes first. So enough of my boring talk. And the next one is PESTEL analysis. I'm going to explain PESTEL analysis, so guys, because last 2 years, one of the biggest banks in the United States wanted some remote workers, and they reached out to me to help in Africa. And I talked about my country, Nigeria, and they refused. And why did they refuse? I'm going to go politically now. Political is number one. The policies and taxation. Jesus Christ. We all know about our policies in Nigeria today, and the political climate, right? I'm sure we all know that. That is affecting most remote workers today. Economic inflation, MPR rate. MPR is monetary policy rate. That is the rate the CBN puts to actually control the economy, inflation, how businesses can collect loans and not collect loans. It affects stocks. It affects money markets, commercial markets, rates, and all of that. Social consumer trends. How are the people thinking? How do they reason? What are the kind of contents they consume? These are the kind of things they look at. And that's why I look at Facebook ads and the rest that affects all of that, even the end powers. I don't want to go deep into that. Technological, light issue, AI, data. How good is our data? How good is our base? How good is our network? What are our skill sets? Legal compliance requirements. Our legal structure in Nigeria is fucked at the moment, sadly, and because of that, affects are the things that backs and affect jobs for remote workers in Nigeria today, but nobody talks about it because, well, I think we don't have much. I think the tech events I'm being invited to, I can't say things like this, sadly, because they're mostly political. Uh, yeah, and that is that environmental opportunities, sustainability. What are the opportunities we have? All these other five aspects. So when I was reached out to, and I reached out to and I talked about my Nigerian people, they refused, and they went to Kenya. Yeah, because Kenya is the tech Silicon Valley of Africa at the moment, what it is. So, it also affects how you get jobs and how you grow on the platform. So, these are the templates you guys have to look at. Business model thinking. Who pays? Who do they pay? How often do they pay? How does money flow? What makes it scalable? One of the things I talked about in the last class was you need to have something stable. One of the issues I have with content jobs because you get a content job and you after 3 months you get a content job, the next 2 months it's missing, and then it becomes difficult to scale up because it's not stable. You can put wealth that way. Who pays? Who are your target audience? Do they have the financial capability? How do they pay? Why are they paying you? That's another very important question. What value are you bringing to the table? How do you scale your pricing structure and all of that? How often do they pay is very, very important. How often do they pay? Very, very important. If we talk about wealth building, you need to acknowledge that, okay, you have a form of stability because wealth compounds. How does money flow? Very important. I'll talk about that next as we roll. What you are doing today, is this scalable? Ask yourself this question. Be truthful to yourself. Is this scalable? Is this scalable? In the next 2-3 years, are you still going to be doing it? Where will it lead to? Can you do it without being there 24/7? Is this scalable? How valuable is what you are doing? Deep questions to ask. Yeah. So, and we go with it again. Back to where we're coming from. Can you see my screen? Which screen are you seeing now? Send intentional DMs. Is that what you're saying?
Still seeing the slide from my end.
Okay. So, just give me a second. I hope you guys are following. Hope you guys are following. If you guys are not following, ask me. I am here. I'm not hiding.
I'm just thinking of how to buy Sales Navigator.
Yeah, that's a good thought, bro.
Wait, that was
Okay.
going to be my next question.
That's a cheat code.
Okay, so write it down. So we have just 34 slides. I'm running. Guys, sorry, I cannot really go in depth in them. I'm just running. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. This is the way I treat myself now. So classes of wealth. Wealth isn't just money. We have mental wealth. I hope you know that. We have social wealth. We have time wealth. Control of your schedule and freedom. If you're working 9 to 5 all the time, and you're still saving your time for money, then you still need to. You still have a long way to go. We have social wealth, your relationships. What's the quality of your relationships? Your networks. What's the quality of your network? What is your reputation like? Mental wealth, your mindset. How do you think? You see, I don't really have much friends, and I have kind of friends because when we sit down to talk for the first 5 minutes, no, 2 minutes, I can actually grade you already and ask myself and tell myself we're not probably paying, we're not on the same bus, we're not having the same kind of train. Adere, do you understand? Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, okay. Um, so I need to understand how you think mentally. What are your belief systems about money? What are your belief systems spiritually? What kind of knowledge do you have? Where are you at the moment? Okay. Time wealth. I'm talking about that. Financial wealth, right? The last time I talked about your money in the bank. Your money in the bank is phase one. Financial wealth, what are the assets you have? We're talking about assets, right? Yeah, we're talking about assets. Good. Then broken thinking will always bankrupt with money. If you are dealing with someone that gambles and you get the person leaving 5 million naira before 1 week, the money disappears.
Don't finish.
So if you come and meet me and tell me to invest in your business and probably you see you can give someone 10 million naira to start up a business. In 2 weeks, what happens? It crashes. Right? Good. So you can be with somebody. This is for the ladies in the house. I didn't used to be this way. I used to be freaking broke. And I'll talk about my relationship right now. And the person I was with, well, very good person, nice person, all that, good, and all. But when it comes to sharing knowledge, how we could build shit together, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Okay. When I brought a project, how can we do this together? Wasn't it? The way I was thinking was different. That's how your relationships matter. Your partner could either break you. Your partner is the biggest hack you ever have. If you meet the right person, you go. Let me use the video and Chioma. You guys are good at the story. I can use other people. So myself, another example. You know, so your partner can become the biggest hack for you. Your partner can open your brain, or your partner can actually be the person that is throwing you back. The same thing with your friend. You guys understand?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a person can earn 700K monthly, spend everything with zero investment. Another person can earn 50K monthly and still save 15 to 20% and invest consistently. In 5 to 10 years, the person that has 250K monthly and invest, even though it's small, become freer than the person A. I'll give an example. When I was having a very, very good establishment, an oil establishment, and I was a copper and I was being paid 20K. And NYC was giving me 19.8, and that is what 39.8. Good. I did not go to live in an apartment, though I stayed in the company quarters because you know why? I wanted it by the end of the year to save up a lot of money because I wasn't going to go back. I always believed in going ahead and not going back. But you know the funniest, most of the staff will always come to me after 3 or 4 months to borrow money from me. Why? Because they were actually living in a bigger apartment. They were paying like 400K back then, and I was earning 39.8. But I was always borrowing them money because it's not about how the money comes. It's not about how much you earn, but what you do with how much you earn. Guys, do you understand? And that's why you find that
Mhm.
some people they earn so much or they've earned so much through the years, but basically they lose their job, they go broke. And that's what they call mental wealth. And then you see someone that didn't earn that much, but in the space of 5, 10 years, you think they were earning a billion every month or earning millions every month. So if you build your LinkedIn store when I start getting clients, it doesn't end there. How you use what content is what matters. So next, classes of wealth in Nigeria. According to Nigeria, a high net worth individual is an individual whose aggregate net worth of investment exceeds 100 million naira. Assets, you understand? Good. So there are different classes of wealth. You have the vulnerable, little or no savings, maybe debt. One unexpected event, medical job loss, they are dead. Then we have the lower middle. They have an income. They can save small amount of money. No meaningful assets yet, but they're starting to build gradually, small, small. Why am I talking about this class? You need to know where you are. If you don't know where you are, where you're coming from, then you cannot actually know where you are headed, or you cannot even head elsewhere. So you need to have a story. A brand has a story. So for those who are into branding, they always say that every brand has a story. What is your story, guys? And you need to be truthful to yourself. Where are you at the moment? And where do you want to be? In the beginning, I talked about retirement plan. What is the retirement plan? Now, after lower middle class, you have upper middle class. Consistent income, some assets, maybe cars, small land, small mutual fund. They can invest, but not yet at 59 yet, right? We talk about our bankers, or, I don't know. Yeah. Pre-HNI, these are people that are nearing 100M investment assets. They own maybe multiple assets, small portfolio of funds, small land here and there, small business, but they're not yet there. Then you now have the HNI, which are 100 million and above to a billion. Keep going. So these are people that have been able to build private equity, structured products, assets that even when they sleep, they can't be broke again because then they have assets paying them monthly even without working. This is where you go from exchanging your time for money to actually no time, controlling your time. Guys, do you understand? If I don't, you don't understand, then now we have the ultra high net worth. These are the ones that obviously millions of dollars and all of that. So your goal is not to be vulnerable, not in lower middle, but upper middle, not in aspiring to hit the HNI. When you've gotten there, your assets start paying you millions monthly and you can breathe. So you don't have to put on it for the time. And, you can now start adding real value. You can now start commanding how much you are paid. You can now start commanding how your time works. Because even if you don't work, you are good. You understand? So when Adele reached out to me and said how to use LinkedIn to grow, from what I'm saying or what I've explained, if I stop now, you guys will know that using LinkedIn to grow is minus phase one, right?
Yeah.
So still have a long way to go. Now, slide 11. Visualization, guys. I used to visualize. I used to visualize. I used to visualize. If you cannot visualize, you cannot control. Life is spiritual, and you need to be able to control your visuals. You need to be able to, manifest. You need to be able to prophesy and try to understand. See yourself in the next 3 to 5 years. I used to see myself not jumping buses, not 9 to 5, having a beautiful wife that is also doing so well, having a beautiful daughter, being able to fly whenever I want to fly, being able to teach people like what I'm doing right now, not viral shit and all of that, but being real and actually teaching them real stuff. I got a voice note today as if um, this class, and I want to play the voice note. And these are the kind of things that make me happy now when I can actually uplift others. And I got this voice note this evening because of this class, and I was so happy. Oh shit! I know yes because I'm on speaker. I'm on headset. But the voice note. Okay, can I remove my headset? Do I need to play the voice note? No. Okay, but the voice note was about someone reaching out to me and actually appreciating me and being thankful for where he's at the moment. It looks like you guys he was able to see the bigger picture. Say he's doing so well for himself. Things like that make me happy because you get to a point in life where it's about leaving a good image for yourself. I wasn't paid for this masterclass. Adele is there, but Adele reached out to me and said, I really want someone that has gone there, has been there, and will not talk about coming to how to build content, how to all this stuff, but talk about the real picture. Adele, right? And I said, okay, it's not a problem. Even if it's just one or two, that one or two can still pass the knowledge, to the next person, and the next person. And that's how change is created. So this was my visualization. The next 5, 10 years, this is my visualization, is a mental rehearsal. It helps to ask yourself, why do you want to do this? I wanted to do this in the first because I was an orphan. I had suffered a lot. I was bullied. I wanted to change things. I wanted to, uplift my siblings. So I wanted to show whereby I'll be able to do the work whenever I wanted to. Before, when I get 80, I wanted to look back and I'll be proud of the life I lived. I'll be happy that I actually lived. It wasn't about buying a car or that stuff. I'm not a materialistic person, but being able to know that I can eat whatever I want to eat, I can do whatever I want to do. There's this level of freedom and happiness that comes with it, right? You guys can feel me, right? The real stuff, freedom. Good. Are you guys there? Are you guys listening?
We are listening, sir.
Okay, good. So, goes to the next one, visualization. Now, the power of role models. Your role model affects you. Guys, who is your role model? This is my role model. You can see my hair, right? Yeah, I'm trying to build this actually. You know, so you guys know who this is, right? This is Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Started
my
from,
role model.
yeah, started from
Yeah, I
pro-
heard too.
started from the project. Yeah. He didn't have this dread, so I started from the project. The same way I had the flat head when I started. You know, but yeah, and he used one skill, which is music. Music, the same way I use one platform, LinkedIn, content, Snail. From there, he built a brand. Then he made their business, clothing, streaming, liquor, sports management. Key lesson, he didn't stay only in music. No, the same way I just told you guys. I didn't just go from Snail was the entrance for LinkedIn, and from Snail to branding, from branding. From branding, I was able to be the guy who actually co-created the Blue Ocean strategy. Then from there, pivoted, and then asset. That's how you build wealth. You understand? Asset. So it didn't just stay only in music. You start with where you are and what you have, and you use music as a bridge into ownership, becoming an owner. Okay? Owners and bridges. Good. Next, this is Jay-Z's portfolio today. Real estate, art collection, music catalog, Rock Nation, Tidal, right? Cash and investments. Uh, you guys have heard of Ace of Spade and all of that, you know. And this was as um 2 years ago. I couldn't find the recent one, but do just keep acquiring. If you look at $40 today, look at Dango, the same blueprint. Money has a blueprint, you know, assets, assets. And it gets to a point in time, you're broken out. You can't be broke again, right? You've already built assets. And that is the game. That's the game plan. That's from somewhere. So I always had this visualization. I can say that he had a flat head, he didn't have dreads. So you get to a point to start. So when you start seeing people having, you get to a point to start having your dreads and you don't give it, you start thinking about that too. So uh visualization was I want to be like this. I want to get to a point where, you know, cross 100, cross 300, and keep going and going and going and going, buying assets, building assets, you know, stocks, blah, 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 blah. Visualization. So, guys, I hope you are following. These are some of the ventures dude has. Now, flying. So, welding people does not work in the system, they learn how the system works. My Japa people and my people. The last class I told you guys, you know, how Nigeria is a beautiful place for some people and for people that understand the system. LinkedIn is a system. So if you don't understand how LinkedIn works, you're actually just gonna be asking yourself, God when, right, guys? But then if you understand how the system works, like I just gave you a 30% because I couldn't go deep into sales now because it's not about that. But just to give you guys that the system is deeper than what you think. Some people work for the system, like LinkedIn. So the 9 to 5 workers who work for the system, you go to school, you come out, you work for the system. And some people own the system and control the system and earn the system. Right? Good. Now, that is LinkedIn, and that's how we can realize. So on LinkedIn, you just want to be someone that just works for the platform or someone that just keeps the platform running. You want to be the person who actually owns, you know, or who controls, or who is the back end, the engine room, making money from the system, while other people keep running. Right? Good. Now, wealthy people just don't work in sales, they learn how the system works. No, number one, pay yourself first. Save, invest them 30% for expenses. Be careful with bad debts and lifestyle. Don't leave that about idle with zero interest account. For those who have bank accounts, emergency fraud, insurance, avoiding scams, taxes, learn skills that raise your income. I'm going to explain all of this. First things first, your job on LinkedIn is to get a stable job or get a stable paying client. For you to do that, I just need to get the templates. You guys have a real skill set to do stuff, real stuff, stable, something that can feed your family, something that can do stuff. Now, once you get that, immediately, I used to tell people people that reach out to me when they get, I tell you, if you are living in your parents' house, job, stay in your parents' house for the next 2 years, 1 year, 2 years. Your job, that job is not going to be there forever. That job is a platform for you to build. Every job is a platform for you to build. So meaning if you are earning 100K in your parents' house, stay in your parents' house and use that 100K and be saving up, be saving that share up. You can always help your parents to add to parent, but don't leave to start increasing your lifestyle just yet. I freaking lived in my old house for lots of years before I even thought about moving or anything like that. I already crossed HNI before I even thought about moving. Guys, you understand? Because I wanted to build first. It's just like a business. Some people start a business, they haven't built the business, but the business will start building and to start working for itself and start adding other business. What do you think will happen? You will crash. So if you have one thing, build it at a stand. Then pivot, build it at a stand. So when you have a job, you get a job, the first thing first is have good savings. Have good savings that takes you to the next phase. And in having those good savings, have good savings that can help you buy assets. Assets do well for those who already have good money. Someone who has 100 million is probably gonna put it in fixed deposits, for example. I'm probably earning like 7% or 8%. I don't know how much fixed deposit is right now. At the end of the month, that person will probably be saying close to a million naira every month because the person already has 100. Someone who has like a billion already will be saying way more than that. So someone who has over 100 that has like a little money market is over 1.5 to million monthly without ever working for the rest of their life. Yes or no? Yes. Good. So I want to get to the bigger picture. So the bigger picture is this: you get a job, your business is not to be spent. Your business is wealth building. You are going somewhere. You're not here to buy a car yet to start living a sexy life yet or that. No, you are meant to be stacking up. Your money should build staircases for you to get to the next phase where you can start doing bigger, where you can start buying assets. Initially, I didn't know those things. I used to say, God, when I get my first 1 million, I will never go back. So when I cross 1 million, then I say, oh God, I want to get the next 5 million. When I crossed that, I realized the money wasn't in the bank. For you guys that don't know, if you have more than 5 million in the bank and your bank crashes today, your bank can only pay you 5 million. That is what the insurance for the banks in Nigeria. You can check it out anyway. You guys are on phone. So imagine someone that has 20 million naira in the bank and tomorrow the bank folds. You find out that banks fold a lot, right? Try Nigeria. What happens is, even if you have 20 million, 100 million, wherever, the only thing the bank gives you back is 5 million. So when I got to realize that, I started thinking of how do I now protect that? I was like, yeah, how do I now protect that? And that's when I realized, oh shit, you get to a stage in life that the banks become too small to hold their money. Is what it is. So it's not looking for how do I protect this money because the banks are too small to actually keep your money stable or to actually protect the money. If I have so much money and at the end of the day the bank is giving me 5 million, the bank folds, then what the fuck is that? But they don't tell you this thing. So most of the banks you have today are retail banks. But your goal is to be on retail banks. Your goal is to have financial house for your money. I'm giving you guys inspiration because you guys can do it, right? Good. But then your lifestyle matters. You don't get there by spending anyhow. You don't get there by having broke friends who you spend for all the time. Money, like I said, is intentional. It's an intentional thing. You get there by stacking up. You have to stack up. You have to be selfish. You have to be greedy. You have to stack up. You are going somewhere, right? You guys understand? Yeah. Good. I was getting lost somewhere. So next phase, money terms. I'm going to explain what this money terms. Monetary policy rate. Like I said, if you have any country, let me say Nigeria, so what the CBN does is, they want to control the inflation, business, and all of that. They put a monetary policy rate. And the higher the inflation, the higher the monetary policy rate, because it's that rate that helps that controls how banks give loans to businesses, so how that shapes the financial activities of the country. I'll give you an example. In the United States, the monetary policy rate is 1 digit, right? And since it's 1 digit, you'll find out that to do a business in the United States is way better than doing business in Nigeria. All these things are actually going to be tied down back to LinkedIn and the kind of skill set you should be having because of the kind of system you find yourself in. So if I was in the United States, I'll be thinking of doing business. So that's why you have a lot of business in the United States. A lot of businesses popping up in the United States because the NPR is very low, which gives it makes it easy for them to get loans from the banks. You understand? Now bring it back to somewhere like Nigeria. Our NPR rate as of last year was probably like 20, 30 something percent. 20 something percent. So what that means is, if you're a business person and you want to do a business and you go to the bank and you collect loans, you'll be paying back for the something percent interest. And the truth is, your baseline profit, the business is not so well anywhere, or it's probably 30% profit. So how do you make 60% profit and pay back for 20% profit? So that is why businesses don't really do well in Nigeria. That's why businesses crash. But then, okay, I'm gonna go forward. But that's MPR. So it helps you position yourself, right? Money market funds. So money market funds are a form of assets and investments where you have financial houses. Even banks are doing that right now. You put the money and the money works for you. So they invest in commercial papers, they invest in FG bonds, they invest in what is it? Commercial papers, FG bonds, fixed deposits, just like portfolio one. REITs, real estate investment trust, when Adele and a couple of you come together to put money to buy, to go into real estate. And by the time it's paid, or if you get a particular percent, because you don't have one person doesn't have that money. So we have companies into REITs in Nigeria. Commercial papers are where Dangote comes to reach out to you, not you actually, but reach out to financial houses, because all this are coded, and they say, oh, I need money. Everything Dangote does costs money, it costs money, and you find that at the end of the day, people borrow the money and say, okay, I need this money, I'm going to pay back the loan in a specific form. These are commercial papers. Dangote does it, everything does it, every big company does it. And we have private investors or private equity. So these are like different levels. They're not going to know this if you've not taken tonight products. But then when you continue there, you find that when I said that today, they're not making money in the country. So these are like in-house. FG bonds, government bonds. So your federal government comes to meet you to say, oh, we need money, and blah, 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 blah. This is financial houses, and say, oh, we need money for people, we need to borrow money, just like they are borrowing from outside, and you borrow the money, and they pay you back. In all these payments back, the money being paid, because the MPR is very high, your interest that goes back is very high. So imagine people that have billions in Nigeria and they have money market and give them something 10 profit every month. As they can calculate that of millions of them. So you find that a lot of people are complaining, a lot of people are winning. Last time I talked about owners, bridges, winners, and what who is winning in the economy today, who is losing, where do you find yourself in? Everything in life is a strategy. So Ada has to be in a regular savings account for 2 years. Her bank pays almost nothing in real interest. Inflation is her value. Inflation will keep rising, guys, no matter what, it keep rising. Her friend explains money market funds, so she moves the portion of it to money market funds, plus FG funds. Now every quarter she expects interest alert. Functional inflation is silent. If the money isn't growing, it's shrinking. Money term. So next, taxes. Guys, as your income grows, you become a target. I told you that. That's the part about growing. So you become a target as your income grows. It becomes how do you, for HNIs, tax authorities in Nigeria, increasingly focusing on them. New tax laws in Nigeria from January next year focus on HNIs and remote workers who are doing so well. Yes or no? Yes. Woo. So it's not about making money. It's about how do you not protect the money so you don't go back to square to 0.0. So it's more difficult to sustain and to evolve than to build. So how do you make for after paying taxes? How do you restructure your wealth? You need to now have tax consultants at the income right. Bro, you cannot hide. You cannot hide from it. You can't hide from it. You can't have millions in your account without government. So we come for you, knock on the door. So I'm not gonna go deep into all of this, but I'm just giving you guys insight on levels today. Trust. You get a level you have trust. A trust helps with generational planning and control protection of your money. You don't lose your money due to taxes, bad government, officials, all of that. So that's for trust. Now, structuring your wealth inflow: income, salary, business income, side hustles, investments, returns, taxes. Pay yourself first, automatic transfers to emergency for good. We have different forms of income, guys. You have your salary, you have your rental income, you have your different forms of income and all of that. So the first goes, you need to think of your taxes. Now, I want to pause here. Do you know why remote workers, for those of you on LinkedIn, can build growth faster than people who work? I need you guys to. Now, I'm going to pause this. I know that I'm speaking to humans. Stop sharing. I want to ask that question. Why is it that remote workers and business owners and the rest build wealth faster than the 9 to 5 people or 9 to 5 guys? So I need answers. And let me pause. I've been talking for long.
Mhm. Most remote workers are earning in the
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
primarily.
That is
I
one.
think that's part of this. And also, thank you so much for the knowledge is in fact, I want to say it's too much, it's too valuable. One thing I know of, it is remote workers and business owners literally have access to 100% of their funds, while 9 to 5 hours, majority of the time, they are before the funds even land, a lot of deductions, taxes, and what have you.
Yeah, good. That is it. So remote workers, the way the system was built. Let me go to reputation. Let me say a form of reputation inside. So the way the system was built was, think of the system like this. It's a matrix, right? You you go to school, you are taught how to be an employee and how to work, not how to think. And the idea of doing that, you come out of school and you're thinking of working. Because that's what you're supposed to do. And that is almost about engineers can't do shit. Then you start working, you get the job. But not then the next thing is they pay you salary. But the salary is paid to you just enough for you to come back the next day. Not for you to break out. Because if everybody's breaking out, it's going to crash. Right? Good. So at the end of the day, you find that in some companies they even use prisoners as workers. I hope you guys know that because they don't pay the prisoners. They won't pay them. It's a capitalist system. It's like capitalist. At the end of the day, the company takes all the money and pays the owners of prison. And it's also that prison is a business. We have private prisons that can build like 5 private prisons because the number of criminals, we don't have a lot of prisons, the number of criminals. So at the end of the day, what I do is a lot of criminals coming to my prison, the private prison. Then I actually register this prison and I use them as contract. This prison are still as contractors for big companies. And this big company at the end of the day don't pay the prisoners, they pay me the money. Everything is business, guys. When you get that's when I'll show you. So you as a 9 to 5 understand sadly you're a prisoner. You can be controlled. And that is why your salary is capped. No matter how good you are, you have a capped salary. Even if you are a tech anybody, don't let anybody like when you travel out, Microsoft or wherever, the salary is capped. Just pay enough for you to come back to because then if you are free, crashing, you control crashing. Right? Good. Now we have evolution of remote workers in Nigeria. And it just normal that sooner or later they needed to be controlled. Right? Cool. But then why is it that the remote workers and business owners grow bigger? It's because the way the tax system is controlled, I get all my money, like what you said. And at the end of 13 months or so, I pay my tax. So within that 13 months, I can invest and right? I'll make stupid money. I cannot give them a pinch of my interest. Number two is at the end of the day, I can structure my wealth. I can write off tax, right? I can buy a car for my tax, my company. I can pay myself dividends, right? Then I don't get to be taxed because I pay myself dividends. I'm taxing on my dividends. But the 9 to 5 guy, before your salary reaches your account, the tasks are already taken out. At the end of the day, you're never going to get the ball one. So your goal, a lot of the system, right? So your goal is for you to break out of that and become free. We were not born into freedom unless, well, if you already had forward work, but your goal is to buy freedom for yourself. You understand? So go back to where we're coming from. So taxes we have paid, PIT and all of that, emergency fund. You need to have an emergency fund, guys, and the 6 months. You need to have investment account, guys. Then go further. Yes, you have to have security buckets, emergency fund, health insurance, blah blah, money market fund, equities, businesses, go, beat inflation rate, grow your net worth. That's the idea. You have assets that can eventually assets that can replace your salary. That is the goal. Assets that if you stop working today, that replace your salary. That is the goal. You understand? So you can decide to now say, okay, I don't want to work for the rest of my life again. Rental properties, business shares, stable dividend paying investment, education funds for kids, philanthropy, giving, trust that will be used to structure inheritance. System checklist. So you need to ask yourself, do I know roughly how much tax I should be paying? Do I have at least one formal investment account, not just cash and contributions? Guys, do you have an investment account? Do you have anyone apart from your normal account? Do you have written plans for emergency funds? Do you have that? Do you have good investment? Do you have legacy? Legacy account, I call it that. As your wealth grows, you need to have a tax advisor, an accountant. That's why you have multiple people have a lot of people working for them. This working for them and helping them protect their wealth. Because, like I said, they will knock at your door sometime. So, yeah, I talked about MPR rate. Remember, before I forget. So this, when you understand how the system works, you now need to ask yourself, the environment I find myself in, is it the kind of environment that can actually give me the kind of life I want, can actually get me to where I want to go, or is it the kind of environment that actually aligns my skill set? For example, you want to be a businessman or a business guru. You look at the MPR rate, you look at all these things, you need to ask yourself, will it favor me if I'm in Nigeria? Do I have to move to Kenya? Do I have to move to the United States? Right? If I'm a remote worker and I'm in Nigeria or all of that, does this favor me when I look at all these things? From January next year, the taxes are coming. Does it favor me by the time I pay off my tax, by the time I do this, by the time I do that? Or do I have to move to a neighboring country? That's why you find out that a lot of wealth is migrating. You find the likes of $100 living in UAE, you find the likes of some people living in Monaco, you find the likes of Davido and the living in Atlanta. All these things are across the money line based on individual people. You understand where I'm coming from? Always follow the money line. For some people, Nigeria favors what they are doing. For some people, this. So you need to have that room for flexibility. But flexibility comes easier when you already have built growth yourself. So it's easy for you to pack up your bag. I don't know if you understand, but from what you guys have seen, that means it's not just about jackpot. A lot of people have jackpot today are broke. You know why? Because they didn't understand and they don't understand how they are in works. If you go to Instagram today, the way Instagram works, you know the way LinkedIn works. The way LinkedIn works or the way Twitter works. So you need to understand that this period that I am in, how does the algorithm, everything has an algorithm, everything has an algorithm. Life, the system offline has an algorithm. If you don't follow the algorithm, then you're going to fail. You understand? Relationship as an asset class. One of my greatest wealth accelerators was my relationship with my wife. I didn't know that story so well. She was smart, growth-minded. No, it's not that she was smart. She's still smart. So guys, I call her my oracle. And my oracle is that. My oracle. So we work together in Zoom. We work together. My wife and I work together. Everything I do, we do together. Do you understand? Do you understand? So she's smart, growth-minded, pushed me to become better. Because of that relationship, I started thinking bigger, started thinking beyond boundaries. I built soft skills. It became easier to work with me. And this led to my promotions and opportunities. I have a small circle, guys, but very powerful and very intentional. I am the brokest person in my circle. Most of the people in my circle are old money. I'm the youngest. Most of them are just 60. I'm talking about the real world, man. So you can imagine where I got all this knowledge from. Do you understand? Exactly. Your relationship matters. Your relationships are investments and commitment. A relationship is a commitment. That's why when I see people that say they have 50 friends, they are liars. It's a commitment. You are committed to it. It takes time, bro. It takes energy. It takes emotional bandwidth. So you have to choose quality. As you keep growing. When we were in primary school, we had lots of friends because we didn't have parents. You understand? In secondary school, we had lots of friends because we didn't even know where we were going. Everybody were with us, you know. Then you get to university, it starts reducing. Then after school, you start seeing some people have jackpot to the UK, some people became accountants, some people became this. It starts getting smaller. Then you start picking people along the way, people that think like you, people that reason like you, people that are already where you are going. You understand? You start rewriting your relationship. Your relationships are like one of the biggest things, guys. They are one of the biggest things. Like I tell, I'm not proud, but like I tell anybody, I can't date a broke chick. It's just what it is. If I'm dating someone, it has to be someone that is probably rare or going to where I'm going. We can't sit down while we're talking about trash. I need you to tell me about, the things they are doing, the moves they are making. You understand? Your relationships matter. Relationships are spiritual too. There are people you move with and everything starts crashing. And there are people that they come into your life and everything starts getting better. But that was the story with my wife though. I met her on LinkedIn. So we met on LinkedIn, right? We met and I didn't get to see her face. It was on call, voice call. I didn't even know how she looked like. But the way she was thinking, we dated, we started dating 45 minutes into our first call without even seeing her face because she was just hot. I was like, what the fuck? What? Like, what? It was hot. She was telling me all those. I was like, damn. That's where I'm coming from. And the next day, the year we got married because I wasn't gonna lose that, man. I wasn't gonna lose that shit. I wasn't gonna lose it. She was hot, and I achieved. I crossed. Okay, I'm safe. I crossed the 500 in less than 3 years. Uh, she was hot. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put. I'm gonna talk about the project first, and I'm gonna tell you what to think about it. And trust me, it's gone. But then there are people that you are with, and they just dull you. You know, even when you're talking about your trip, that you're bragging. When you're talking about, you know, things. It's like there's a kind of circle you are gonna be in, and you're talking about your trip, and look at it, you're bragging. In fact, I remember I used to have a circle of friends that after we finished talking, I'll start becoming scared of my own security. I don't go to talk to Jesus. I should not kidnap me. You understand, guys? There's a circle that you fall into, and you can't talk because they think you want to talk, but they never. It's just not. It's just not. In fact, they just tell you, yeah, well, what's up? You know, um, can we do the Christmas? I was saying that daily last year, right? That daily we'll do West Africa, we'll talk this year because next time I want to talk. What I was telling you? Yeah, we had that conversation that day, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't, they don't look like if I'm bragging, but it's like, come on, they have fun, guy. You see that skating stuff for Lesotho? Yeah, for Stephen Ndoku video. Cha guy, will go like 2 months. It's not bragging, just because I'm happy and I want to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So, guys, your relationship matters a lot, a lot, a lot, lot. So, stages of relationships. We have your audience first, people who see your content, you know, uh, low intimacy, they watch your consistency. Audience, normal audience. Then we have acquaintances, people you have met or interacted with, once in a few times, those normal basic stuff. We have allies. You have worked together, delivered value and trust, building small. You can recommend each other. You have your inner circle, very few people, they're not plenty. Your spouse, your partner, like I said before, my wife, co-founder, deep mentors, people who work for you in, share full financial realities. Like I was telling you, your inner circle, you cannot be scared of telling your inner circle how much you have. And getting scared that you're bragging, feeling people reach out to you. But that's not your inner circle. Your inner circle should be people that, they're actually doing so well. So guys, who are your inner circle? I'm not talking about the audience experience. Who are your inner circle? These are people that you can work with, you joint assets, plan long-term things, move and all of that. So your inner circle is not your crowd, it's a board of directors for your life. They matter too, guys, they matter. Who are your inner? You have to filter your inner circle. Your inner circle cannot be 50, it's not possible. Back, too much, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Who are your inner circle? They need to be quality, strong men, strong women. You need to do that. Strong, your inner circle. If you don't have that, you need to start building that. You understand? Good. I'm flying. So another thing you should know is promotions and opportunities. I see a lot of posts on LinkedIn. You say, if you know that something, you leave your 9 to 5. If you know something, guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't have the opportunities to work if you actually have a good job. Your job is a tool. For those who are my master, who have been following, your job is a tool in your toolbox. You have skill sets good for you. You have all these things. Your job is one of the tools. Your job is a foundation to build wealth, for stacking up. For those, your job gives you leverage. Don't go and listen and be listening to people that will tell you, if today, tomorrow, you start having one thing, you should leave your job, walk away. Opportunities are very, very rare, guys. That job might be the only opportunity you have. I'm a very real dude. I'll tell you the truth. On LinkedIn today, because of the what the algorithm, the one viral content. If you have one thing, I'm not saying obviously if you have a bad boss, find a way to work around. Okay, my boss is bad. What can I do? Just don't wake up and start carrying your. If hunger catch you, nobody will tell you. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And how do you get opportunities? Number one, be reliable. Be reliable. Build a personal brand that attracts. And a personal brand that attracts, build a brand that shows sincerity, shows love, talks about mental health, talks about realities. Your content shouldn't be about uh, graphics, this, physics. No, your content should be talking about the bigger picture. Your content should be talking about your values. People reach out to you based on your values. People patronize friends. People patronize people they can connect with. Look, if you get a job today, or if you're working with someone and you don't even have, you're not good, but because of the fact that they love you, they will give you an opportunity for growth. Let your content talk about things, real shit. Talk about the bigger picture. Talk about, things like mental health. Talk about the values you believe in. Before I work with you, I want to understand what are the values you believe in. Are you a legit person? Are you someone that is reliable? Are you someone that has integrity? I'm not going to work with you if you're telling me 50 smarts. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to know who you really are. And that's the mistake a lot of people are making on LinkedIn. So they come today and they start talking about my content is this, 10% of content. That's a content. Yeah, good for you actually. Good for you. But then before all of that, who the fuck are you? Do you understand? Everybody's talking about content. Everybody. There are so many fishes in the river. What makes you special? If I'm going to eat you, your bone don't injure my mouth, then you're special. Be easy to communicate with. Be good at handling conflict. Be humble. I don't even know if I don't mention names. Most of my guys that I started with, one of the things that killed them was humility. They were not humble. My boss will always tell me about the story about a salesperson that came to sell, sell a product. and the person was putting was talking like this. I'm putting the Rolex, you know, a $15,000 Rolex. Are you stupid? You're talking to people that can actually buy. Like, are you stupid? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Be humble. Most of my guys on LinkedIn that crashed out were people that any small thing, they'll come and tell you how they just got 10 jobs, they just got 5 jobs, they just got 3 jobs. You know what you're doing to yourself? I will never come out and tell you how much I'm being paid. You know why? Because then it caps me. And that's the simple truth. I'm yet to actually, connect with people who will pay me. So if I start talking about, I said how I got 1 million naira. 1 million naira, if you convert that shit to US, that is roughly, let me even go back to our African country. If you convert it to CFA, Benin Republic and the Ivory Coast of Senegal, that is probably like 300,000 CFA. If you convert 1 million naira to dollar, it's not even up to $1,000. It's roughly like
Around
400,
600.
600. Good. So you come out and be shouting, how I made 1 million naira? How I made 1 million naira? What's like, why you do that? Why shooting yourself in the feet? There are people on that fucking platform that I know I'm making. I mean, I don't want to even go far. So why would I even want to work with people that don't make 1 million naira? Then you can't do my job because then you're too small. I don't trust you. 1 million naira, you don't shoot yourself in the leg. So at the end of the day, what matters is to not open a content class where everybody pay you 50 naira, 500, 5,000. That's the picture. I'm being real here. That's the picture. If that was what I was doing, then most of the companies you guys saw and all of that wouldn't even think of. I mean, no. And you're not just doing that to yourself, you're doing that to the Nigerian crowd. Because then they'll say, oh, this is the cap. So humility, be humble. Be humble. Wherever you've gotten to, when somebody else is starting. Wherever you've gotten to, you can't even open the door because they're still too small. You still have to learn. Be hardworking, guys. Be hardworking. Be hardworking. I see a lot of people today, I don't understand, see, you just have to be hardworking. You have to work freaking hard. It's just what it is. You have to work hard. Even our great grandfathers, even our fathers, they were tilling the farms. You have to work. That's what we are known for as Africans. We break through. We break the walls. You need to work hard. At least in the initial stage, give yourself the first 5, 6 years. Work freaking hard. You have to be a problem solver. You don't have to be the one complaining. You have to find ways to solve problems. You have to research. What is the problem? Find ways, research, read. If you're a problem solver, you're a reader. If you're a problem solver, you're someone that's inquisitive. You have to be a problem solver. These are the things any company is looking for. Because AI is evolving fast, tech is evolving fast, like freaking evolving fast. If you're not a problem solver, you can't evolve. You need to have a growth mindset. And you have to be a continuous learner. You need to always visualize. This is where I want to be. You need to always, visualize. You need to always want to get there. And when you become someone with a growth mindset, the material things don't freak you anymore. Because what matters is you want to actually be there. You want to be among those people that people look out for. You want to be that one person. You want to be someone that if there's a Bible in our time, your name will be among those that we talked about. That's a growth mindset, continuous learner. You have to evaluate. If you're not valued, then why would I want to work with the same as we have to evaluate. A lot of people keep on talking about LinkedIn not paying them, but what are you even valuable in the first place? Your skill set is even valuable in the first place. Let us be realistic. So you have to be caring and not selfish. You are dealing with humans, you're dealing with people, right? You need to be able to step back for some time. You need to be able to make things work. You need to be easy to work with. Money flows to those who solve problems and stay pleasant without doing it. Okay? Cool. Bridges. Oh my god, I'm tired. Princes and toads, owners and bridges. Um, the people map of wealth, we have princes, we have toads. Princes are people with access, influence, integrity, opportunities. Toads are people who only take, drain, distract, or corrupt. Not every powerful person is even a prince. Some are well-dressed toads. Your relationships today, guys, even when you go on LinkedIn tomorrow, look for princes and not toads. Look around you today. Who are the toads? Who are the princes? I don't want to spend much time here. You guys should be able to, good. Now, opportunities. Princes and toads. How to see opportunities. One of my biggest role models is Warren Buffett. And when I started investing and buying assets, my biggest question was, how would I know which asset was a prince, which asset was a toad, which asset would be do so well, and which one would do so well? I started understanding what princes and toads mean. I started understanding the difference between noise and real value. And I started understanding the essence of boring businesses. A lot of businesses today, for example, are just shout and hype. But then there are businesses that are boring and are doing so well. Our father's businesses, they are boring, but are the old money. You understand? Old money, real stuff, not hype, not shout. And that's why I said the real CTOs and CEOs on LinkedIn are not popular. So they open my stores whenever you realize that they are still the platform, but they're not content creators. I'm not saying content creators are told, but if you don't know what you're doing, they are told. You understand? Good. Now, in businesses, investment, you need to look for real value and not price. Ask, do I understand? I don't invest if I don't understand. If it's too complicated, don't stress me. I don't invest. I don't go there. And that is why I don't have stocks. I don't do stocks. Sorry. I do a lot of other things. Good. Ask yourself, is this thing going to be in a long term, 5, 6, 10? Oh, no, no. Long term is like 30, 40, 50 years ahead. So similar to Buffett, the circle of competence, invest only in what you truly understand. Economic mode. Even on LinkedIn, whenever you pick a skill, think of becoming a mode with that skill. A mode is you are strong and you don't have competitors. Dangote refinery is a mode. So if I want to invest, I can invest in Dangote refinery. Maybe. Yeah, if I think about it good and do my research. That is a mode. If I want to go into for example, I want to go into the banking sector. We have the likes of UBA, the likes of First Bank. These are modes. If I want to go into other things, you have the likes of Bar Refinery, you have the likes of Nestle, and the rest are modes. I'd rather invest in something that's a mode that gives me 5% than invest in a tool that promises me 50%. That's how you find out that you're able to make money. And that's why you need to build wealth that extent that even if you invest just 100 million, you'll be able to get something from at least 2 million because you invest in the most. You understand? That's you find that most of the time the rich niggers or the rich people you see, you don't find them coming out to say they lost money through. What's that stuff again? What's that MMM?
MMM.
Yeah, what they call it again?
That's MMM, no?
No, that's
Ponzi.
Ponzi. Yeah. So these are those. Promise you 100% and
Yeah.
management is not strong, did not last through the years and all of that. They're not durable and all of that. But then most of the companies you see have investors and these are powerful moves. What is that? There are many of them. Good. So in whatever you become a move, my goal on LinkedIn was to become a move. And I knew I would not become a move right? So I had to shift into where I am today, which made me become a move. So it has expectation. Remember I talked about butterfly system, barrier entry. Maybe I talked about that. For those who are just joining, those who have joined before, maybe you can reach out to them, understand. So I talked about that. So told mindset chases hype. When you go online, you talk too much, shout, blah 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 blah. Noise, too much noise. Quick returns. They don't check numbers, risk, and other things. So a prince doesn't just see money, they see patterns and it told this noise and fear of out. So further trying to rush. Owners and bridges. And owners are the ones who control an asset that produces cash flow. Businesses, IP, real estate funds. Bridges connect owners to market, money or momentum. Example one, the tech product. The owner of LinkedIn is an owner. The bridges, HR consultants. You can go through this. I'll give you other ideas if I don't hear why people are going to this. So the owner of a farm, then you have those who, you saw those trucks that come from north that probably carries all these big products. and those people are already paid. Those are like bridges. Without those trucks, the owner cannot connect to what the end users. So it's either you become, your goal is to become either an owner or to become a bridge, one of the two. If I wanted to invest or build in Nigeria, right, what I would have done is, now that the taxes are coming up next year, right, I would have become a bridge. How do I become a bridge? I'll open a tax firm. It's pretty new out there. So, a lot of people are thinking, how do I do my taxes? How do I file my taxes? I'm so scared, Nigeria. I'll have become that bridge and an expert in that. Or I'll have built a tech product that helps FIRS detect, taxes or probably simplifies it more. Do you understand where I'm coming from, guys? So your goal should not be to complain. Your goal is to take like a capital. The reason why the government is taking taxes from you is capitalism. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Nothing is going to change. Think like a capitalist. Whenever something happens, ask yourself, who is winning, who is losing, where do I forget to, or where do I find myself? Same thing as owners and bridges. Who is the owner? Who are the bridges? Where do I find myself? Do you understand where I'm coming from? Complaint does not change shit. Don't be in a circle that complains, guys. In my circle, I'm the only one that actually posts about the bandits happening in Nigeria. The rest of the post it. You guys are not but then I'm a youth, so I know agree and fight me. Yeah, 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 that kind of stuff. Guys, so are you feeling me, guys? Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Because all these things will give you, I'm going beyond the whole thing. So winners and losers are pushing themselves. But I wrote it down. So when there's a new policy, tax rule, new government initiative, asks who is winning from this for every. You see, sadly, as this bandit shit is going in Nigeria, there are winners, there are losers. So guys, don't worry, you know. So ask yourself, who is winning, who is losing? How can I position myself? Government announces support for renewable energy, agricultural tech. Losers, businesses that refuse to adapt and complain. Winners, those who build skills products or that and that and that. Positioning is always about money. It's not always about money, only relevant skills, getting to related communities, creating content that attracts players, stakeholder mediums. When policies change, money moves. Always follow the money line. Guys, for everything that happens, it's intentional. Know this and know this. Know this and have this. Anything that happens in life is intentional. Any policy that goes on is intentional. There's support someone making money at the back. So ask yourself, how do I position myself? Unless if you don't want, right? But always know this, for everything that happens more than 24 hours, I don't think I can the government knows about it. The same way, anything that happens, they are winners, they are losers, that are making money. Nigeria is bad today. The guys who have money market commercial papers, who are borrowing the government and making money. IMF is making money. I don't want to go for that. I don't go. I don't want to talk too much for. So let's go for that. I don't want to make you guys understand. Stop complaining and start finding opportunities. This how it's gonna be. Next, wealth stacking and compounding. What they call stealth wealth, guys. And I believe so much in stealth wealth. And people who build stealth wealth, the likes of Warren Buffett, the likes of James, people who I know, stealth wealth are people who keep building. You don't know shit. You might know shit because then you can't hide it for too long. But then stealth wealth is the fact that for every money they make, for everything they do, they keep building. They keep getting richer. The rich keep getting richer, guys. Don't worry. It's how the system has to do. If you build up to an extent, you just keep getting richer. I just give you an example. Even if you just have 100 million and put it in money market, right? You will make it nothing less than 1.5 million naira a month. Wow. Even if you don't set your life, even if you want to spend your life, so when I talk about HNI, right, I'm talking about crossing that into a billion. You can imagine that that's just money market. They have commercial papers, they have real estate, they have so many things. So your goal is to stack up to a level that you know that at least my village cannot catch me again. Where you are right now, they can still catch you. You're going to go to where they cannot catch you again. You understand? Good. So stacking is building wealth layer by layer, skills, income, savings, investment, ownership. Simple stacking ladder, learn a high value skill like I've been talking about, sales, tech, finance, communication. Use it to increase income, build consistent saving habits, move savings into income producing assets, move from your bank, guys. That bank will crash. You don't own the bank, they own the bank. So when you know the cross 5 million, you already have a real stuff. Move. Move, move. Good. So move savings into income producing assets, then keep on reinvesting profits and keep compounding. So if it's money market, like I said, just a million and you have 1.5, next month is 3 million, upper year is 4.5. At the end of 3 months, they roll everything over again. You now have 104.4 million, 500,000. It starts reading from that, it compounds. Now it becomes, it gets bigger, it gets bigger. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So before the year runs and you find that what you have in your money market is over and naira, just without doing shit. This is how the rich people get richer. So you have a job to do in that compounding. And I'm like I keep talking about market. I keep saying money market because I think it's easier for you to understand. I think it's a commercial paper and sort of that. Have a financial. You get to a point to have a financial house. I knew this things because I have a financial house. I have a financial thing that works for me because sometimes it's complicated in my head. So when it gets to that point, you need to have this thing. You can't do it all alone. Health. Health is very important, guys. Sometime last year, I was working because I wake up as early as 6. By 7, I start working. By 2 a.m., no, by 2 p.m., the likes of those in the United States wakes up. My team in the Philippines and the rest are also waking up because they're ahead of us. The US is at our back. So you find that the sacrifice of people like us is we work till, for me, I work 3 a.m., not just me, but me and my wife. Because by 3 a.m., I'm finishing my last session of the day. So I was doing this and doing this and doing this. And after a while, I was working one day and I collapsed. This happened late last year. And when I collapsed, I thank God that the inspector who is the one that always comes with me, to push our side, was around. My wife could not carry my big body for her. So I saw myself in the hospital. And by the time they checked, I was gotten pre-diabetic. My BP was very high. And it was terrible. Before that, I had symptoms. My eyes, looking at the system all the time, and it became blurry. I couldn't see so well. But I was thinking, oh, okay, no. So what constant is eventually I start walking through the clock, sitting down, no exercise, nothing, and I had to start going for treatment. At that point in time, everything was informed. So I was always calculating, no, you're getting paid by the hour, to work 15 hours a day, calculate that thing. I was not blowing and together. That was not the I was looking at I had to catch up with the older Jews in my sector. You know, just so, but for 2 months straight, I couldn't do shit. And life continued. And that's when I realized health is part of wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but when you fall sick, oh, guys, I'm telling you, if anything happens to your body today, all these things I'm talking about, I didn't know what happened to me last week, Saturday. I mean, last week, right there. Okay. I wasn't in the country. I had to fly back in the next day. In fact, I got there 2 hours before the meeting. Then I had to fly back to the next day. And everything paused till today. That is health. So, dude, guys, your health is important. At the end of the day, you want to get 80, 90, 100. It doesn't make sense you have all the money in the world and you're spending it on. You make all the money today. That's a bullshit, guys. So, guys, your health matters. Please try as much as possible to rest. Try as much as possible to do checkups. I know it's expensive to do checkups, but if you can, it's important. And I always stop with proofs. You know, I just did checkup uh, yesterday, and I'm actually after what happened to me. Where is my full body checkup? Where is this stuff? Okay, I think my wife has kept it specially for me because that woman, you know, our women. So I just did a full body checkup 2 days ago. My kidney, my liver, my lungs, BP. I have a BP kit personally. I have diabetes kit personally. I make sure I look at what I eat. They say big man they chop too much. I understand why. As you keep getting older and all of that, start avoiding sugar. Try to understand that feeding too much food is bad for your health, which is it's tough. You know, you start looking at what you eat, vegetables. I have, if you go to my garden, I have scent leaf, I have mint leaf. I always put on my status, but those are okay, other problem. So I have scent leaf, mint leaf, bitter leaves. I have every freaking thing in my garden. I have lavender, I have hibiscus. I got found that hibiscus flowers are also healthy. So every morning I make scent leaf, bitter leaf, mint leaf, and basil leaf in my garden, and I take it every morning. That automatically cures my pre-diabetes. I took pictures. I don't believe it helped them, and I got well in less than a month. So nature is powerful. So since then, I'm making sure I take my herbal tea, the ones being prepared specifically by my wife, garlic and all of that. I make sure I take my health care because of power. So please, guys, take your health seriously. Your health stops, money goes. So building a brand that attracts opportunities, LinkedIn and your online business talked about is show up as reliable, fair, consistent, value adding. People should think of you when they hear certain problems. Your goal is to position yourself as an expert that, that solves problems, right? That brand personality that people can connect with. If your name was a brand, what three words do you want to attach to you? Ask yourself that question. Everybody knows I'm calm, everybody knows I'm strategic, and everybody knows I'm well connected. Anyone you ask, right from time. Once for kindness calm, you never see me brag, talk about it, or all of that. You never see me. I can take bike to Adele's house. You never see me, unless if I don't understand the area, then I don't go. Um, if you ever see me with my security, you never know. I'm strategic. I love talking about money. I'm talking about building wealth. I'm wealth minded, so I know how I spend, how I position myself so well. What people know about me. And today, it's not like this my company, so I do for Zoom, so I do for Time, so I do for Microsoft, and all of that. Strategy, strategy, strategy. I love strategy. So this is what it's all about. I also want them to know him as a very simple person, so you can walk up to and never talk about. But for this class, I don't like talking about money. I talk about other things. That's me. Good. How the system works from school to freedom. So like I said already, go to school, get a job, earn salary, retire hopefully. Updated reality, school gives basic foundation. Real value comes from skills you stack up, people you know, problems to solve, access to build. Powerful take home idioms and quotes. Money is a terrible master for excellent servant. Yes, money protects you. Before, I had I had been harassed by the Nigerian police like 3 or 4 times. I've even visited jail like 2 or 3 times, even though I was innocent. Today, I can move around without being harassed. If you stay in my car, you step aside, you can't harass. Money bought that. Money protects. Money protects your family. You, everybody, you win cases even in court. Money, money is a servant of protection. That's how I see money. If you don't want to have money, you need it to protect yourself and your family. If you don't have money, my guys, people need. If you don't have money, my guys, you'll be on Twitter, on Instagram for this harassment. If you don't have money, my guys, you'll not be able to even get more money. Money helps you get about access. If you don't tell your money where to disappear, never send you a postcard. True. If you leave your money in the bank, if you spend and spend stupidly, increase your lifestyle, and you don't ask for your money to disappear, money is like a spirit. There are rules to money. And if you don't follow those rules, you crash. Don't upgrade your lifestyle if you upgrade your mind. I kept on earning and earning and earning and earning and earning. I refused to move to a bigger house, even when I crossed the 5,000. I said that. That's fast. By the time I started doing all that. I knew that by that time I could never go to work again because I already built that. You understand? So build a backbone first. Let that do shit. My most luxurious car was bought by my wife as my birthday present. Funny enough. She said, "This man, you're doing like an old man. You're acting too old." And it was my birthday, and it was around 1 a.m. And I heard the gate opening, and I went downstairs and I saw a car bought by my wife. That was the first luxurious car I ever heard, and she bought me that car. Good. And now I talk about relationship, the right people to make the right decision. So my wife does not buy me cars, but she buys me. So she bought me a house. So let me not allow that. Yeah. So quiet growth today, loud results tomorrow. Good. Build and stack up. As at 10 years ago, nobody knew Bobby Kupana. Yes or no? About the stack up. Nobody knew about that. Right? You guys got to know him, man. Village people don't catch it again. Right. So stack up. Don't worry, you still brag, don't worry. But build that your see people that village people catch are people that see they've not necessarily built, they were just see earning and shouting. Build so bad that by the time your village people know that you're already rich, it is already today. Do you understand? Build so bad by the time that wicked man that Master Five used to pray for find out that you have well done it already. It is too late. So quiet growth today, loud results tomorrow. Guys, do you understand? Good. A lot of people just get their first salary and they start blowing it up, blowing it up, blowing it up. I had a friend that actually got off, my very good friend. He got his first job, reached out to me that he needed money for transport for the job. I was so happy. Oh, guy, finally, and I gave him transport for the month. And this dude ended up using, ended up, I think, yeah, someone I know, which is a lady that was the HR of the company, that actually like someone that looks up to me, reached out to me. I was telling me how there is a guy, you know how to go in the place, and how the guy approached her. I was talking about trying to take her out to uh, for a date. And funny enough, this babe was very like 3 times ahead of the guy. I was like, I know this guy now. I'm like, this guy. And then the funny thing, she was actually insulting the guy because I don't know how you don't get the job and the next you want to take the HR on a date. Like your goal was to stack up. And this guy didn't end up paying me. This guy didn't end up paying, but I followed him. I wasn't tempted, I didn't intend to get the job, but I was so disappointed. So a lot of people even buy cars that they take from me. That's stupid. A lot of people, I used my Infinix. I'm using this phone for years. I didn't change it. But then I finally got this. This is Samsung S25 Ultra, right? Good. I bought it for my wife. It was super easy to buy it. I could afford it super easily. But I didn't change to things like this because I was doing this for a very long time. And I still have it. I still take it out. But a lot of people will just get a job and the next day they start taking on people things, which is very stupid. So how do you grow? Your goal is not to get a job. Your goal is not to get a job. Your goal is to build your getting a job is just a tool for you to get there. You understand? Yeah, not that other. Okay, I've covered that. Your network is not just who you know, it's who remembers you when opportunities appear. I've had friends I cut out. You can't tell me we are struggling together, then you got a job in NNC. And then I kept asking, Baba, how did you get that job? I tell me it's good. I know it is good, but then you applied now. When you applied, this thing you tell me about. This to tell me about the opportunity. Why can't you tell me about it? So your network patterns, the rich read patterns, the poor only read patterns. Like I told you, patterns. Whenever I read the news, I don't look at the hype or social, all those stuff. I look at the patterns. I study all those things I told you. I see opportunities. Unless if I don't want to actually. But if I want to, then I'll find an opportunity. Good. Wealth is built in habits long before it appears in bank accounts. Yes. I started from saving in my colo. I don't like spending money like that. I was saving and saving. So I knew how to save 50 naira. If you cannot do something good with 50K, trust me, when your salary becomes 100K, you know this shit. So everyone cover matters. when you get clients, I'll give another example. That people make online. So my wife reached out for a home tutor for my daughter, and because it was my wife, the people who reached out to her, the teachers who reached out to her, she asked, so how much can I pay you? I know the first not there, they were telling her $20 per hour. And my wife was asking, are you in Nigeria? $20 per hour. I don't understand. So if you have to teach how many hours in a day in a month, how much? Even me myself, they earn $20 per hour. That's why I was telling them. But because you still know who's involved, they said talk about $20 per hour. Stupid. Stupidity is when at the end of the day, you actually look at an opportunity and you use your salary to choose to do. The salary is not the end. The salary is the tool to get there. What happens to you actually charging something that can pay for and getting 3 or 4 more clients and working on time, meaning I can only work 3 hours a day, but you will pay me this. Then you can get 3 or 4 more clients. The problem a lot of people make is they get a client. I see that on LinkedIn a lot, and they want to charge $1 million. Always remember that before someone reaches out to you, they already had a cap of how much they want to change. You can actually work with that cap or a little bit higher. Not you using a person like, oh, so person reach out to me because of that, it's an opportunity for me to blow. So that is, you don't blow overnight, you blow within a period of time. You stack up. Patience, stacking up, relationship, all these things are habits. Habits get you to where you want to go. Habits determine your tomorrow. And the end, finally. So what not a miracle is the method? Say you have symptoms of that method, building relationships, money, and system. What is one action you take the next 7 days? And what time? Wow, 9:41. So guys, I've been able to, even if I couldn't go in depth with this, at least guys, I've been able to cover a lot of things. I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you on why you need to build wealth. So,
We need to build wealth.
do you have any questions? And
Thank you. This has been very insightful. I think one of our requests on behalf of the group is, can we get this slide?
oh, sure, I'll send it to you. It's not an issue. I did this slide less than an hour. I don't that's right because I didn't think something I could remember.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'll send it. So
Like it's a lot of value stacked up, and right now, in my head I was like, okay, we're gonna crack the LinkedIn algorithm, but right now we've cracked like the wealth algorithm. And we keep saying locking, 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 locking. And this is some of the challenges that a lot of people have. They are hardworking, but there's no sequence, with the hard work. What do I mean? Like, people are working, they are locking in, they are making posts on LinkedIn, back to back to back, but they are not making money, right? And even the people that are making money, they don't understand, how to now stack up. And you've taken, your time to really explain this to us. And for me, it's very, very impactful. I want to say thank you so much. Before I open the floor, I know a lot of us have questions today. I know that FX Joe had a Twitter space he was meant to host by 9 p.m., but I just saw on his tweet he's cancelled it because he's, a part of this class. So much value. So, guys, the floor is open. I think let's take it from the first question that they mentioned. Someone said, when did you know when it was time to switch from snail farming?
oh, okay. I knew it was time to switch from snow farming when I realized, you know, it wasn't gonna get me to where I wanted to go to. Snow farming was paying me roughly 700K monthly back then, but I knew it wasn't gonna give me where I knew I was bigger than that. I knew it wasn't gonna give the lifestyle I wanted. So being realistic was I could just keep on going through this snow farming and doing this shit, or I could probably, switch over into something that's gonna take me there.
Awesome. So Awan says, I would like to know how you transitioned from selling snails to working with top companies.
Okay, after selling skills, I got a few. I was doing one or two businesses. I went to Sand Region of Port Harcourt, which is Sand Region was actually taking sand from like sharp sand and sand filling. Um, but then again, it wasn't still giving me what I really wanted. Therefore, I was still farming. I went into having two restaurants, right? And after a while again, it doesn't still give me what I wanted. I really wanted that. You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Mhm.
And so from restaurants, I was also studying. That's when I started studying the Nigerian environment, Nigerian system, and as I said, a lot of people just work blind. But when you try to understand things like I said, like MPR rates, FAC, and all of that, you tend to see the data analysis and understanding how the money flows. So I got to understand that, okay, um, if I could actually earn in USD and from earning in USD and I'm in Nigeria, okay, and I'm in Nigeria, it would make me earn more. So I started building a personal brand of sincerity. We are talking about the voice for kindness. I started going viral, and I knew that was my time. I wasn't talking about snail farming anymore. I started talking about things like mental health, things that the white crowd could understand. I was always reading news that was happening in their own end because then it gave me ideas on the kind of things they're looking at. And then I will craft that news and use that to actually create a content, and these contents were connected emotionally with them. So it's more like, okay, today I talk about mental health, I talk about kindness, next tomorrow I talk about um, leadership, next tomorrow I talk about, so I started studying the way I see life, values. So why most of the people I knew were talking about selling products, I started talking about, this is who I am. This is how I want to change the world. This is anything that I do, this kind of thing you get. So they started connecting with my personality, right? And that led them to start trusting me. And from there, that's how I got my first gig. And gradually, I started trying to understand how they think. I was telling you before this session, some of the mistakes a lot of people are making here is we're having a master class and everybody's dark, right? In the professional sense, you cannot have a Zoom meeting and you are offside. Everybody has to be on video, right? I started learning things like, okay, for example, the issue of a plain background and your logo, because at the end of the day, from your background tells a lot about you. Someone who wants to give you a job of, let's say, 100K USD is not going to give you that job if your background does not want that. So why would you shoot yourself in the leg? Your background also tells your kind of personality. Your background can even give you a wrong aura. For example, the kind of clothes you always wear plain clothes. If you wear a clothes that has animal skin, the person who is listening to these people are very, 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 they're very, very sensitive. They might look at you like,
Yeah.
oh, this person kills animals for this and all of that. So you find that most tech people, right, if you look at the likes of Mark Zuckerberg and the rest, they wear plain clothes, right? You don't want to be held for anything, right? I use a plain background because at the end of the day, this is how gradually through the years I started learning how the people think. So you need to understand, how does my target audience think? What what picks them? What are the kind of content they listen to? What are the kind of things they love? What are the kind of people they want to work with? All these things come beyond your skills or the product you even sell. If these things are not structured well, then nobody will figure out to you.
All right. I think that's very insightful. So guys, if there's any other questions, the floor is open. Annie, Therese, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this well. FX Joe, Ufe, Dojo. I think there was a drop off. Someone dropped off earlier.
Okay.
Rotary PH. So, do we have any more questions for our speaker? I know he has taken, a lot of time to explain the wealth system and how to scale from getting that job to stacking up the funds to becoming HNI. The goal is to get to that HNI status. So is there any question along the line? This is our last class. After this, we will be sharing the templates so that we can use it as a worksheet to build our desired life, and then the accountability sessions kick off. So let me know. I'll give you the minute. Okay, Teres, your hands is up. You can ask.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this masterclass. Like, my brain is still recovering from this. My question is, it's more like a story. Then from there, I'm going to frame the question. So right now on LinkedIn, when I started up on LinkedIn, I didn't really have a direction. But with time, I could niche down. I actually identified what people wanted to talk about, and I started to talk about these things. And later I just became like someone that they were always coming to solve problems that was relating to digital stuff, whether it's to start a community. And so very quickly I just decided that okay, I'm going to monetize this whole thing. And I learned one or two things, two courses, but I don't really have like the um richness of experience to really back up this thing. So right now what I'm doing is that with when someone comes and is even getting into career coaching, and I don't really have much experience in that, but people have faith that I can actually provide the solutions to their problems. So how do I go about this particular situation and not become like because I feel like I'm a scam. Like I can't, even when I tell them like I can't I'm not the best person for you, they'll be like, no, we really trust that you can do this. And like how do I get out of this, or is it even a problem in the first place?
Yeah, I think I've been there before. First instance, everybody feels that everybody feels they're not good enough, to help these people who are reaching out to me. And it's always a good thing. It shows sincerity because they actually want to help these people, right? If I'm to get you right, you are saying you don't have much. You say you don't have much knowledge about it, because then if you say you don't have much knowledge about it, right? It's just very easy in the world today. You just have to keep on learning. You can actually take more courses. And I got to find out that you say people don't need to know. You don't need to know everything to guide people. As simple as content writing is, they don't think about. They just even want to even know, you know, um, what it's all about, right? So guiding people doesn't. You don't need to see the full picture before you actually move someone on their hands. To take them on a journey. You can actually figure it out as you go. But figuring out as you go is you actually equipping yourself the more. If people see you as someone that is a leader, trust me, automatically that person shows you are a leader. There are a lot of other things they see in you that you don't see yourself. It's now your job for you to actually guide them through the right way. And how do you do that? To actually educate yourself. Fill up those weaknesses you think you have. Focus on your strength. I talk about SWOT analysis. Everybody has strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and strengths. If you were here from the beginning, what are your strengths right now? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities? Now use your strengths to correct the opportunities as you build on your weaknesses, right? Because then what we talk about are pure strength. So use SWOT analysis, and I'm sure in no time you'll look back and thank yourself actually uh, accepting this call by the people. Have I answered the question?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. FX.
All right, FX, you can go.
All right, can you hear me?
For sure, I can.
All right, thank you so much. Like the way I don't even know the way I love this class. Anyway, normally anything that pertains to finances, that's the place I always want to be. So I'm so privileged to be here, and the knowledge is what it's worth the time so much, and I'm so grateful. And I love the pattern at which you sectioned the whole conversation. This is a holistic class. It's actually the master class, like you said. So my question, I actually asked the question. You have already answered the first one. So the second one now is the one I asked earlier. That okay, I'm a forex trader and I'm also a crypto enthusiast, and I desire that okay, I should be able to build up with people, all right? So that's why I asked how you're able to transition. You understand? I understand that you actually explained it, but it was a
Can
little
I
bit.
ask you some questions? In asking those questions, I'm sure you get the answer. Say a forex trader, crypto trader, and you want to, if I get it, you want to get clients. Now you're saying
I want to scale up. Yes.
scale
You know,
up.
at some yes.
Yeah. Okay, first things first, who are your target audience? Who are the kind of target audience that will help you scale up?
Okay. Before now, I was just taking classes, but right now, I'm currently working with exchanges. All right. But like you said, working for them, your payment is always capped. All right. No matter what. So now, at this point, I don't know what exactly to do to scale up. All right. To scale up, maybe like I don't know. Even probably working for exchanges though.
Okay, as a forex trader, what value are you helping to solve? Like what problem are you solving for forex trader? Just imagine I don't know anything about forex trading now. I'm just one guy on the street. So like in one sentence, what problem are you helping to solve?
Okay. For the brokerage firms that we work with, what we do is to help them generate trade volume, right? Either as an individual or from my community. So those are the basic value we deliver to them.
Okay. Now let me go back, right? Who exactly is your target audience?
Majorly for now, it's just the brokerage firm.
Okay. Location.
Currently, I'm in Abuja.
Okay.
No location.
Okay.
Is that?
Okay, Abuja, brokerage firm, Abuja. Good. Now, does this mean that you can work for other firms, even across the country? Or is it just
Yes.
good? Do you think the people across the country will pay you more?
Yes, even the brokerage firm I currently work with, they're actually outside the country.
Or outside the country?
Yeah, I'm currently working with a Chinese company.
Okay, Chinese company. Do you think if you leverage your time well and you you have like 2, 3, 4 months can actually start to see the target you mentioned or being based on them?
Yeah, definitely. But I think I don't even know where did the thing get dicey is. You know, you've made mention of some critical things that I actually want to build my brand on, which is integrity and trying to empathize with people you work with. Okay. Now, as much as that is very vital, now if you want to work with maybe 2 or 3 brokerage firms, for instance, now uh, trying to build up integrity across those 3, it's going to be very dicey.
Okay, why is that?
Because, for instance, now the community you currently have comprises of maybe people that know you for, okay, you're currently working with this brand. But now, personally, you want to scale and you are coming to introduce them to 3 different companies that offers literally the same products, make you look like somebody that is inconsistent.
Okay. Now, if you build a personal brand for yourself where you are more like your own company, right? Do you think that could actually make you stand out and get more opportunities, not just working on that company? Like
Sorry, I didn't get that.
why
I
are
didn't get that.
why you are working for this brokerage firm, right? Why you are
Yeah.
working for this brokerage firm? The problem is you don't want to be seen as someone working for other firm where you're working with them. It's kind of that's sincerity, right? Now my question is,
Exactly.
if you build a personal brand as an expert in what you do, a personal brand
Yes.
as an expert in what
Yeah.
you do, whereby even personal people or high network people can reach out to you, okay? And it you start getting other clients, or let me say other kinds of clients apart from your brokerage firm. Don't you think that might actually be another route? So
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
I'll give you an example, right? I work for um, just to make sense for that, I work for a particular company, and I've been working there for like 5 years. And in working for that company, they it's kind of crazy that when you become so good, also they won't want you to work for another company, so, right? That is always the fear and all of that. So what I did was I ended up building my brand as an expert in what I do for that company. So at the end of the day, having consultation that helping um, smaller firms actually, solve what I do for the company I'm working on right now. Because at the end of the day, your company is a tool to get to where you're going to. Your company is the platform to get to where you're going to. Even though you want to keep the test, which is a good one, right? You need to also know that a way to bypass this is building a brand for yourself. Now, when you build a personal brand for yourself, most of the time, what I've learned is when you build a personal brand for yourself, it brings opportunities that you don't even know of. Life is a journey. Business is a journey, right? And a personal brand connects people. Like today, I have people who reach out to me for other forms of, you know, uh, problems that my skill set can solve that I didn't even know was possible. That is the best thing. Your personal brand opens more doors for you. And that is the truth, right? So when you're working for this your company, the goal is if you can build a personal brand, then find a way to restructure in branding. What's called the different kinds of houses and branding, and it's all about how you structure it. You can have a brand whereby you have three companies under a particular. You can have a brand whereby you have uh, a company like Nestle, where you have, or a company like what know this brand that Nestle owns, PZ, right? And PZ has different brand products. When you finish, you don't even know that each of these products is just PZ, and that's how they treated the product. So you take it, I don't even know that PZ. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. So in this case, you need to know how to restructure your house. So you restructure your house, you now have your company, right? Bam, that's it. Now, how can you now add other ways of earning? It might not be another company, but it might be other kind of product. And when I mean product, it can be other kind of ways earn. And these other ways of earning would now be when people know you personally, not through your company, but you as a person that actually solve the problem as an expert in that field. In that way, you can start having consultations, you can become a consultant. In that way, you can start having negotiations whereby you help people negotiate. In that way, people start paying for it, even if you just 1 hour of the service. Now, the company that you work in now, you use it as a platform, understand, as a platform for, for growth. Now that you are, I always tell people, now that you are earning, use that period to actually build. Use it to actually do something solid. The advantage you have over other people that establish that have this physical skills, they don't have a backbone. That company can be your backbone now, but if it's your backbone, find a way to now build your brand. The company is a reference because a lot of people now want to have reference or see reference. Now that company can be a reference, can just be here, as a backbone that's giving you a leverage to start building your personal brand and start doing other things. There are consultations. There are so many ways you can earn apart from staying under the shield of the company. Because life goes on, time is going. And the truth is this is the opportunity you have. You're still earning for you to build elsewhere or to do something. So focus on building your personal brand. You own your personal brand. Your company might own you, but they don't own your personal brand. Your personal brand stands out. Because they have big opportunities for you, especially earning for that. You understand?
I do. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing clarity to that for me. And I don't know if I can ask my last question, please.
Sure.
It's all right. Thank you. I appreciate. So my last question is this. You talked about before upscaling your lifestyle in any endeavor you are, you should stack up and probably be someone of high network individual. Now, um, like my industry now, right? So that's in my space. It looks like the what gives you more attraction is selling of lifestyle, even beyond your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't know how you're able to manage that, right? Because you say I know the content you're putting out was no I don't know if it was visual, or how were you able to manage that? Like if when you were transiting, you say you literally stay at a place for quite some a longer period of time and all of that. So how were you able, or how should the person in that field manage that regard?
Okay. Now this is the thing that we don't want to talk about. First things first. Before I inside this, I have asked you, where is your audience? Not every business has an audience. Nice. Number two, we have if you're into entertainment, for example, entertainment show be they call it show, right? Show. So if there's no show, then there's no fee, right? And the fee is what funding the show. Let me tell you. So um, every industry. I remember there was this argument that came between Coach Jarvis and Chief President, and all of that. Those who followed that argument, where Coach Jarvis was talking about business sector, and people didn't understand what he was saying, and Chief President. It's always that same line. Now, for me, um, I I I grew up not wanting to be put under pressure. Right? I grew up wanting to be known for me, not material things. Because when you're not for material things, the bad thing with it is it gets to a point. Like if techno goes broke today or any they will never be able to work in the bank. It puts you under some kind of pressure. So I was scared of that pressure because I don't want a situation whereby tomorrow someone sees me, slapping, maybe about the market and say, hey, see this guy, I want to live a simple life. For me, and it was possible for me because I knew fully well that okay, I didn't need to show money and all of that. Though some people believe in that. I replaced showing money with talking about uh, a talking about more of humanity. So, for example, instead of me saying, "Oh, I just bought one car," blah 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 blah, I focus more on things people were value. I focus more on what people were getting from reaching out to me. I focus more on sharing other people's story, right? That I could change personally. Like today, when I started, I talked about this other companies. I didn't talk about myself because at the end of the day, everything has a good and a bad side. The thing is, everybody I know that grew up trying to show up never ended well most time because they were spending more. They were still there building faith. Number three, they didn't even have the right people around them. But everybody around them was supposed to be part of that wasn't to eat out for them. And number four, they couldn't sustain it. And also five, what if I know that within the whole show, they don't last. They have a time frame. If you notice, even when you go to the music industry or whatever it is, they have a time frame. So instead of that, I focus more on the values we're getting from it. Sharing things, my belief in different things. People, you don't necessarily need to show you or take for people to know that you are doing so well. That is the funniest thing. Okay? That was the thing people don't know. Another thing is I believe so much in scarcity. That is me. I am very, very scarce, right? I make sure I'm not everywhere. If you see me, you're event, you definitely know that, whoa, this guy should be came for this thing. That's why I like it. And that's why some people love it, right? Scarcity is powerful. This is your value. This year I got invited for something that was, but I totally did not know. I knew what I did. It gives you, but this guy actually turned shit down. That kind of stuff. So I built on scarcity, even on LinkedIn. All the while I was so big on LinkedIn, I don't think anybody has seen me on in reality, apart from maybe Facebook. Nobody has seen me in reality. That's the next thing. It gives that kind of value. It takes you from I never want to be a content creator. I want to be seen as this. So in that, I made sure I was scarce. I made sure I was very, very selective. I'm scarce, but I'm in the masterclass with just probably 4, 5 people. But then again, there are also events whereby like the whole full, you know where I'm coming from. I'm very, very selective. You don't need to show your wealth and all of that. You can show your value. And your value should connect with that of the target audience. A wealthy person that might pay you so well don't necessarily need to see your flashy cars or whatever. All they need to do is connect on personality. I talked about the different brand personality, I talked about sophistication and all of that. So I think it's a misconception that you have to show well, show all those stuff for you to make money. But the sad thing is those who really have the money are not showing those stuff. The guy who owns Ferrari, you only see the Ferrari on the product, but you don't even know the guy behind the Ferrari and all of that. The guy who owns all the whole big brands, you only see the brand, you don't see the guy, right? I love Jay Z, yes. When he was talking, he was wearing chains and the rest. He doesn't wear chains and the rest. He just has to dress, right? The truth is, when you show less, you appear more powerful. When you are scarce, your value increases. When you show less and you're scarce, you enter bigger circles because then they see you as an example, you're not a loud person. Good. There was this guy I used to, the first my journey was this guy I used to admire so well, so well. And I was not good. He's part of the Midway family at that time. You know, I tell people true names I kind of met everybody. I would say there's luck in it too. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but in hard work and smart work, there's always that stroke of luck. And when that stroke of luck comes, stay humble and stay hidden. You understand? So this guy was one that when I joined it and I saw that he was on me, I was like, oh. And the funniest thing is, this guy actually did the kind of quiz and he was saying whoever answers it to have a private dinner with him. I didn't answer that question. Right? Because I knew with the sales me, I want to like that stuff. But you know the funniest thing, one of the biggest things I've had was this guy reached out to me middle of this year and added me into his close caucus, his close circle, cultural friends. This guy is Nigerian. He sent me a message right now that it's in the country, right? What I got to realize, guy, after so many years, you see those old money rich guys, they don't like out people. That's the funniest thing. When you are loud, you talk too much, you expose yourself. When you show that fancy car, it shows the level you've got to. Most of the time, it caps you. For example, if someone shows me someone like that, somebody guy get this and that, he say one thing that he does work for people. I'm like, oh, for real? If this guy comes up to me and shows me months and he say he does both months, so I'm like, what the fuck? You understand? I've crossed where this guy is. The thing is, those if those material stuff you show, understand, puts in a particular range. That is just the funniest thing. It puts in a particular class and range and blocks you from penetrating into the next class. That is why I try as much as possible to avoid. Because then when you have a perception of me, you understand, you might even have a perception of something way bigger where I never been that I've never even gotten into. But when you start showing some kind of things, I can tell where you are and okay, you understand where I'm coming from. So when you start showing your wealth and material things, you only look admire by people who are bigger than people that aspire to get there most of the time. But then when you don't show that, it gives you a room and space for even people that are way bigger than you. But when you start doing that, you understand? Like for example, I personally can't even know people that show for people that do so much or all of that because I am scared of you get to a stage in life, people that have real wealth are scared of losing their wealth. Not by bandits, not by criminals, but by the government. When you start having real wealth, you start hiding. When you start having real wealth, you start living in Monaco. When you start having real wealth, you start living in Dubai. When you start having real wealth, you never want the Nigeria. When you start having real wealth, your family will even be around the border. You know why? Because you are trying to protect it. if they know, if the government knows. So how would I want to come into my circle when you're someone that is loud? Because if tomorrow you go out and post my house, Jesus is Lord, I will leave the country the next day because what the EFCC go write me now. Like, you can. And like, do you understand? I'm trying to give you the mentality. I'm trying to give the mentality. When I was very young, I used to say, oh, more, when I get back like this, I'll go back, I'll go to my, I'll show. But when I started, man, I started getting so scared of losing it. I started hiding. You know, I maxed out the environment I was living in because everybody got. You can't hide. Even if you are hide, you cannot hide. It smells. That is why you see that the rich people leave that neighborhood and go to a neighborhood where nobody knows who is who or who is the next person. Because when you are somewhere that everybody knows, yeah, you become a target. And not by the bandit, you have the security, but by who? The agency. Now, do you understand?
Yeah, I do. Thank you very much. Like, this is so illuminating. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think this has been really impactful and amazing. So guys, I don't know if there's any more questions for our speaker. This will be our last class before we share the templates on the group. So just let us know. Mr. Awa is a very busy man. So for him to have come here for us, it means he takes our community very specially. So take advantage of this opportunity. Even if you don't have a question, you want to review the recordings and have a question later on the group, I'm sure that maybe we can handle some of the questions you might have in the group. So you can the group is going to be active for the next 90 days as we track daily activities towards our goals. The main essence of this class is to position for 2026. I don't know about you, but personally, I am positioning for 2026 with some of the information I've learned. Some of us are going to save that money for that Sales Navigator. Get it out. I'll be in Mr. Hour's DM and then we can sort that out. So I think in absence of any question, Mr. Hour, I don't know if you have any last words for our community. And thank you so much, first of all. So I'll just give you the floor.
Yeah, nothing much. I'm happy to be here. Like you said, everybody would listen, but only those who take action from today and implement. Like I said initially, even if it's just half a quarter, what is action backed, not a wish, is habits. It's a bit difficult to measure, but you need to build the habit. If you don't want to build wealth for anything, build it for protection. If you want to build it for anything, build it for your family, for your wife, for your kids. You know, is it possible? I'm a witness. I'm a living witness, right? Yeah. So it's very possible. Don't let anybody deceive you. When you go online, try as much as possible to refine your Google, to start reading content on finance, stocks, and things that are about finance. Don't get distracted by social media. Don't become a distraction. There was a particular time I was on Sunday Edno's page, and I remember he asked a question and about how old are you people or something, and most of them were saying 17, 21, 19, and it got me to realize, wow, damn, like, damn, I don't even understand where I'm coming from. More like, it's a distraction. I'm not saying you should not have fun. Always have fun, take your health serious. But the truth is, if you, and Otedora right now is reading in the newspaper to understand where the economics go. A Dangote and the own story. One of the dad just have to do what they do. They have to be intentional. You can't eat your cake and have. So after this class, if you don't take action, fine. Take action, fine. I hope and pray that somebody in this class will reach out to me next year and say, I've been able to build something. I'll be happy. I hope someday someone invite me and say, let us go to. I like to travel. Let us go to so place, and you sponsor, and you will pay for my chicken, and I will go. I understand. I like to. I'm everywhere. So I just want everyone to be good. I want the Nigerian youths. I want the youth to be successful. Next year is gonna be tough, guys. It gets tougher every year. You know, the taxes are coming, things are coming, but you have to get tougher. That's why you have to actually get tougher. You know, don't just keep getting tough. So you just have to. This is the right time for this class, and you owe it to yourself. At your 80-year-old, the way you look back, not be disappointed in yourself beside something. So that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much. You've been very impactful to us, and you've shared some insightful information here as well. Guys, I hope you learned a lot as much as I did. I was jotting so much, but I think I couldn't keep up at some point. But yeah, there's already an AI on this channel as well, so I'm gonna get this transcript. Thank you so much once again. I think we've come to the end of this class, guys. Thank you so much for staying up to this time, and we'll communicate more on the group. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Take care.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.